We're live.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Festivus for the rest of us. Today, though, we are going to specialize in Christmas. Like the good old days when people didn't care about multicultural anything. Christmas. This is the Christmas special. Yes, it is. And joining me today is Johanna. Say hello.
Hey.
Malik.
Yo, 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 what up, people?
Joe.
What's up, people?
And of course the lovely Johanna, one more time.
Hey.
And of course me, Lorenzo, your host for the very, very special Christmas special. We're going to start off with an icebreaker, as is a custom at times, because Christmas is all about customs, right, Joe?
That's right. That's what makes it.
Okay, so now you guys have kids, and you guys celebrate Christmas. So what I thought would be fun for the icebreaker would be, and this would also be good practice for when it comes up in the near future. Sometimes kids, being very smart and intelligent, ask questions about Santa Claus. And I don't know if you guys propagate Santa Claus, but let's just pretend you do. And we're going to start off with you, Malik. And what this is a question that your child is asking you. And what you're going to do is give us the best answer possible. Are you ready?
Sure, go right ahead.
Daddy, why doesn't Santa give presents to the Jewish kids?
Man, that's a really good question, son or daughter, whoever you happen to be. But so the best answer I could give you is that Santa isn't allowed in certain areas. So you ever tried to go to Williamsburg during the day? It's really, really uncomfortable at certain times if you're not one of the people that live there. And that's not to say that anything's wrong with that, or anything's wrong with Santa Claus or anybody else going into that area. It's not like they're rude or anything like that to people, but it just doesn't feel right. And I think that Santa Claus, in his big red outfit with his big red hat and fat as all hell, he just kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. So instead of going there, he just allows them to make all their money over the course of the year, and they can buy gifts for themselves. He doesn't do anything to affect that because he just would stick out like a sore thumb in those areas, and he just passes that by.
Okay, very good, Malik. So basically, Santa doesn't go to the Jewish neighborhoods because he's worried about sticking out.
Yep.
Okay, got it. That's an important lesson for the children. Stay out of the wrong neighborhoods. If you don't fit in, don't get in. That's great. All right, Johanna. Mama, why does Santa give rich kids better presents than poor kids?
Oh, shit.
Did you just say a bad word, Mama?
I was thinking the same thing.
Sorry, don't tell Daddy. Class warfare. Daughter, it is not about the price of the gift. It is about the love that with which the person gives the gift, and also, how much thought they put into it. And so some gifts might be not as expensive, and others might be more expensive. But oh wait, shit, that's not explaining Santa Claus. Never mind. I'm bad at Santa, you guys. Okay, I give up. I'm bad at Santa.
You give up? That's not the ancients' mentality. There's no opt-out, Johanna.
Okay.
We'll come back to you. How about that?
Okay, all right.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Now, Joe is up. Daddy, if Santa can deliver all those presents to kids in one day, why doesn't he deliver food to the starving kids instead?
Well, child, my child, Santa only deals in toys and electronics. He doesn't handle food. That's what Jesus is for. So Santa handles the toy department. You know how you go to the department store and there's toys and it's a whole other section of the store?
Uh-huh.
That's Santa. Santa handles that area. And Jesus handles the rest. That's why Christmas is Jesus' birthday. And Santa is the one is like his mailman. He delivers all the toys and electronics and gifts.
So then, is Jesus just really bad at his job?
No, Jesus, you just have to wait for Jesus. Much like the Church of Latter-day Saints does. So, wait for Jesus.
I'm really
He will
confused, Daddy.
deliver.
I'm really confused, Daddy, but okay. So,
For the record, I'm confused too.
You're just passing the buck right along, huh, Joe? Pass the buck. You're like, I don't know, ask Jesus, child.
Jesus. Jesus has all the answers.
All right. I like that. That'll work. Johanna, do you want to try tackling this next question?
Sure. I'm scared.
Why does Santa give rich kids better presents than poor kids?
I thought you were going to give me another question.
I'm going to fix it in post, Johanna.
It's because they have bigger chimneys.
This is really hard and uncomfortable. That's what she said.
Whoa!
I'm totally stalling right now, you guys. I can't. Santa brings rich kids better presents than poor kids because their parents are better at writing lists and much more descriptive and specific.
I don't know what the word is for races when it's socioeconomic, but that's what you are.
How else? I mean, any answer I was going to say would be classist, Lorenzo. The word is classist.
Mama, use the classes.
I did say classist. I said little child of mine. Really what I would say is because the rich must be destroyed and the proletariat and yes and Les Miserables and red, the color of my blood, you know, like all that shit. Okay, like yeah.
So, Mama, we should kill Santa Claus when he comes?
There is no Santa Claus. So really you would just be killing a phantom of your hopes and dreams.
And the truth comes out. Well, we're starting this Christmas special off with a bang. A bang, basically, that is a gun shooting Santa Claus in the face. Which is fine. That's okay, because you know what? Christmas isn't really about Santa Claus. It's about being together, and it's about telling stories and sharing memories. So, for this next section, I thought we would look back into some of our own adventures as the Agents of Helm and discuss some of the adventures that we've had in the past. So I would love for you guys to regale us with some of your favorite memories of the Agents of Helm. Okay, so at this point, this will be when you guys tell your stories. This was part of the pre-work. I believe Johanna did about 15 minutes of it, and Joe did about 2 minutes in his head right now.
No, wait a second, that was not part of the pre-work.
Yes, it was.
It was.
Was
it
it?
was in here. It was in the pre-work.
Where?
Talking about the
I'm
Christmas
looking at it
memory, or you talking about the Christmas memory or the Christmas story?
Christmas
Christmas
stories.
story.
Share a Christmas story featuring your fellow agents. Keep it between
Okay.
3 and 5 minutes. Don't
Yep.
forget the Christmas magic. Riffs on other stories are encouraged. For example, It's a Wonderful Life, Helm style.
Yeah, but that wasn't like your favorite memory, not what you just described. Your memory of
There were two. Oh, okay.
of of uh of episodes past.
No, no, no. It's not. It's not about episodes past. It's what it is. Is it's your story, and we're gonna frame it like it's a memory from adventures that we've had.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, I can do that.
Okay.
Oh, in that case, Johanna, why don't you go first?
So, there was that time that we all decided to go to the North Pole, and we put on our best winter gear because it's going to be really cold there, and we started to, we took a boat, a canoe, just like the Vikings did, up, up, and up past Greenland, and then all of a sudden, where the North Pole was supposed to be, there were these broken up fjords. I think they're fjords, just pieces of ice just floating around, and there was a little polar bear struggling to get up on it, like Jack in Titanic, and he kept slipping and falling, and there wasn't really much we could do. And so when we got to the little, red and white striped barbershop thing, we saw it was a little piece of paper that was attached to the pole, and it said, "Thank you for burning fossil fuels. You are fucked. Love, Santa."
Man, that was a crazy, crazy day. And I remember thinking, man, we came all the way up here for a freaking barbershop pole. And I got to tell you, Johanna, I was a little disappointed. But you know what they say? It's the adventure. It's the what do they say? It's the trip there. It's all about
All about the journey.
Right, there you go. You know what they say, Johanna? It's all about the journey.
Fix it in post.
Yeah, that was a great, great day. Except for the part where it was a horrible day. What about Joe? What about you, Joe? What are some of your favorite? What's one of your favorite? What about you, Joe? What's one of your favorite memories from Christmases past?
Remember that time, guys, when we all went shopping in Manhattan? We were doing our Christmas shopping together that one year, and it was like really cold outside. It was like somewhere like 10 degrees or something like that. We were freezing. We were down by 34th Street shopping at Macy's, and we get outside, and we're by the lamppost, and I bet Lorenzo Lunch that he wouldn't stick his tongue on the lamppost. And Lorenzo wouldn't do it. I kept banning him. Then I said, "Lorenzo, I double dog dare you, and I will buy you 2 lunches."
How am I going to resist a double dog dare?
And remember, you couldn't resist it. And then you stuck your tongue on the freaking pole.
Well, who would think that it would just stick there?
Yeah, and it stuck there. At first, we all started laughing because it was funny, because you like started to panic a little bit. But then, remember, we all got a little scared because then you really couldn't get it off after like a few minutes.
And you guys just left me there.
Well, we left you there because I went into the Starbucks to get some boiling hot water so I could pour it on the pole to get your tongue off. But then somebody told me, no, you're going to burn them at the same time. So we had to find a different way to do it. And I forgot what was the way we did it.
They got a bad They got a bad face off.
That's right. So we went. I forgot how we got you off, but I think we poured some not so boiling water on there, and then easily pulled your tongue off. And of course, I was like wearing gloves or something, and I just like yanked your tongue off of there. It left a little bit of skin.
Yeah, I couldn't.
But I think you were okay.
No, I couldn't talk for a week though.
And that was your Christmas gift to us.
Oh yeah, that was a great, great day. Except for the part where it sucked. What about you, Malik? You have any memories you want to share?
Yeah, I remember that one time when we were preparing for our holiday party. You guys probably remember this. So Johanna was baking an upside-down cake with mint jelly and holiday-themed homemade gluten-free frosting, and she was placing them in biodegradable pans for all of the guests to eat during our holiday feast. Joe, the leader of our group, was planning our next mission while speed watching war strategy documentaries for new game plans, and Lorenzo was building the agenda for today's episode and preparing to send it to the team 3 minutes before we aired. And me, with my super strength, and I was in the team's man cave / basement testing my might while wrestling our polar bear mascot Snowflake. You guys remember that?
Oh my God, that was crazy.
He was the one that was stuck on the ice patch.
Exactly.
You forgot to mention, Johanna, that we actually brought the polar bear back.
We brought the polar bear back from when we went to North
We
Pole.
saved him, so
Freaking-
there was a silver lining.
So anyway, while we were there, I don't know if you guys remember, you guys probably remember this, but while we were there, we were doing all of this and hanging around, and our friends and family and co-podcast heroes were all gathered for the festivities, and we were partaking in some rum-laced nog and some caroling, and just then some shots rang out. So a team of baddies came running in with their shadowy leader, and they were able to break Joe's seemingly impenetrable fortress and knew exactly what the Helm holiday party was, and that we would be the most vulnerable at that time. The head guy clearly knew when and how to hit us. The police chief and everyone in the place were completely incapacitated. Joe was knocked unconscious before he could weigh the probabilities. Johanna had recently taken her sleep pill, so she was easily taken out as her speech was slowed and she sleepwalked through trying to defend the civilians. Lorenzo was shot with a cold gun to slow his speed, and he was captured too. Weakened by the fight downstairs against Snowflake and outnumbered, the barefoot Malik, in nothing more than a bloody tank top and blue jeans, since he had left his Jerry curl wig and yellow man blouse in his room, escaped to the ventilation staff to finish out a plan. Well, just then a voice over the loudspeaker called out to him. "Hey Malik, it's your arch nemesis Taylor. Remember me? You destroyed my nomadic podcasting career by being super awesome and taking all my special appearances, and now you must die. If you don't want me to start killing all the hostages, eventually I'll find somebody you do care about, then meet me on the rooftop for a fight to the death." Well, we all know what happened next. Over the next 90 minutes, Malik fought through all of the Taylor's minions and cut his foot in the process. Limping and badly bruised, he fought Taylor on the under-construction 34th floor of the structure until the latter faced the fall that would surely destroy him. Malik tried to save him, but Taylor fell to the waters below and was never seen at 808 headquarters again. Fa la 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 la. Sweet Christmas.
Taylor got what was coming to him.
You know what's crazy? Two things are crazy about that. One is that I completely forgot all about it until you brought it back up.
Because you were knocked out, Lorenzo. You guys were knocked out. I'm sorry. It was my memory that I remembered because I was the only one that was there. Sorry.
But what I do remember, though, is the other thing that I thought was really strange, which is that Taylor was speaking in a European accent.
Yes, exactly.
What was that about?
Well, see, he travels a lot. He does a lot of traveling, so he must have come back with this accent that was really, really fake, but also really, really real at the same time. I don't know.
Very strange, but what a great story. I am so glad that you mentioned that. And do you guys remember what I said earlier about Christmas not being about Santa Claus and about gifts?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right, because it was just like 5 minutes ago. Yeah, that's bullshit. We all know that. It's all about the gifts, guys. So I thought it'd be fun, since we're talking memories, to talk about some of our best or worst toys. So we all were kids, and we all got toys. Feel free. You can choose either or, not both. Wait, either or. Either or. Either or is completely different than both, right? Either or.
Yeah, you have to make a choice
Yeah.
with either or.
Yeah, why isn't it just or either? Why is it either or?
Because usually either needs to be in front of two choices, but if you do or, then you're just describing like something that people are going to have to choose from in a very general sense.
Thank you, Johanna.
That's what I'm here for.
So, Johanna, your favorite or worst memory? Either or.
Oh, memory?
No, I'm sorry. Johanna, your favorite either or worst toy?
This was really hard, you guys. Like, I don't remember a lot of my toys, so I would think that worst would really be like anything involving clothing if you were a kid, unless it was like really outrageous. Like clothing really does feel like it's actually a gift to the parents. Like, and I noticed this because now I buy gifts for my nieces and nephews, and my older nieces were 10 and 8. You know, they want clothing because they're like, ooh. But like my 8-month-old niece, she doesn't give a shit. She wants like a horse, like a horse or a gift or something. So yeah, I would have to say anything involving clothing would be like the worst.
Great, Johanna.
Or like
Unfortunately, that answer is wrong. We're gonna need more specificity. Joe, go ahead. Break it down.
All right, let me tell you my worst toy. The worst toy I received as a child was the Stretch Armstrong. I don't know if you guys ever remember that or
Hold
ever
on.
had
Those
one.
are best ever.
Worst. Worst toy.
I'm reeling. But go ahead.
The Stretch Armstrong. Well, Lorenzo, let me stop you from reeling. Let me tell you why. It sounds like a great toy. It sounds unbreakable, but
Don't tell me you
I
broke
managed-
Stretch Armstrong.
I managed to break it within hours of opening it. I broke a Stretch Armstrong. Well, it wasn't just me. It was 2 other friends, and we stretched the hell out of it. We tested its limits, and the arm ripped. So if you ever want to know what's actually inside a Stretch Armstrong, I could tell you. It's like this red gelatin, gooey, sticky thing
it's
that's
like
inside.
corn syrup.
Huh?
It's blood. Stretch Armstrong
Corn
blood.
syrup.
Stretch Armstrong's blood is a red jelly, sticky,
Red corn
gooey
syrup.
substance.
It's corn syrup, you guys.
Yes, it ripped a big hole. So I repaired it and everything. As well as a 10-year-old could. I put a Band-Aid on it.
He had a
Put like
boo-boo.
2 Band-Aids, and the thing just like seeped through. So anytime I played with it, you just couldn't stretch. I can't remember which arm it was, but you couldn't stretch that arm. You can only stretch the one arm and the 2 legs, and we were good.
That sounds very traumatic, Joe. Very traumatic.
It was very traumatic when it happened. I only had it open for it. If it was 2 hours, that was a lot.
Okay, Malik, what about you?
So I know these guys said their worst experiences, and I was prepared to do my worst experiences, but then Johanna took mine and was talking about clothes. So I'm gonna do my best. My favorite toy, 1991, Christmas 1991. I had been begging for this for like at least 3 months, and I go under the tree, and of course, I surf through all of the crappy presents, all the crappy stuff like, clothes and pajamas and shoes and all of that craziness, and I finally get to it, my Super Nintendo. And my Super Nintendo was under the tree, and I can honestly tell you, I don't remember anything about either that Christmas or the next 2 or 3 Christmases after that, because my Super Nintendo was the bomb. It was Super Mario World, which I probably played for like a good 6 months straight, and I had 2 games, Super Mario World and Super R-Type. And I don't know if you guys ever played Super R-Type, but it was like a
Racing game, yeah. Or no, right? It was a racing
no,
game?
it was a flying shoot 'em game. So like you had the little flying thing.
Oh,
and
right, yeah.
And I had that. So I had those 2 games, and then a friend of mine had given me his F-Zero, and that was the racing game that
That's what I
everybody
was thinking
loved.
of.
Yeah, that was the game that everybody loved. So I
F-Zero.
had those 3 games, and then like I was playing that for hours and hours and days. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to do anything. Super Nintendo was the greatest gift I ever received. Greatest toy ever.
Great. Absolutely true. That gets bonus points. Okay.
You just love Nintendo, don't you?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
I'm not even going to dignify that with a response. Malik, I think just be sure that you're keeping your mic away from your mouth because we're getting a little bit of popping.
Okay,
Just
cool.
want to make sure I got some good audio from you because, like I said, I'm leaning on you heavily tonight.
No problem.
And I don't know, there's a bit of an echo, so maybe everybody can turn their volumes down a little bit if you can.
Okay.
Good.
Sure.
All right. Let's see. Where are we? Christmas. Okay. So Malik, what I'm going to ask you to do now is share one of your favorite or worst Christmas memories. If it is
If it's different
something
from
beyond, yeah, something beyond the toys. So it doesn't even have to be from when you were a kid. It could be also as an adult. Just because Christmas is a time for family to get together, which can often result in some of our best and or worst memories.
So for me, I think Christmas, the worst Christmas experience for me was that realization. I think it happens for everybody. That realization when you switch from being a kid to being an adult, and the number of presents and the number of toys under the number of things for you under the tree go from like 15 to 2. And usually the two that you get are like a sweatsuit and like a gift card to some stupid store, right? That you don't even shop at or something like that. And I think that was like the worst experience because it was so shocking and jarring for me. Like I went from being the first off, I was an only kid, so you know there was only one kid in the house, so the 90% of the toys 90% of the gifts under the tree were always mine, right? And then I get to that point where like now I'm a grown up, I'm making my own money, so I guess my parents just kind of decided, all right, he's an adult now, so we don't need to put a bunch of crap under the tree for him. He can get it himself.
What year was that around? Was it like when you were like 23 or when you were like 14?
No, I'm no, not 14. I'm pretty sure it started like somewhere around like 17. I think
Uh-huh.
17 was probably the moment when like I had forgotten my first job and I was making my own
Yeah.
money and buying my own sneakers and stuff like that. And I went under the tree and there was like a bottle of cologne that I've never worn before in my life, a sweater, and like a jogging suit. And I was just like, are you effing me? Like, you guys, where's the real shit? Like, I don't even care if you got me a bunch of toys I didn't even play with anymore. But damn it, I'm not that old yet. It can't have changed this quick. So yeah, for me, the worst Christmas moment is that moment when you shift from being a kid to being an adult, and the number of gifts and the type of gifts that you receive just completely shatters your world.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. Though, although if it had been the 80s, your jogging suit would have been like just the thing. Joe would have been hyped about getting a jogging
we
suit.
would have got you a matching Kango.
Yeah. So it's funny that you mentioned that because first of all, my favorite toy was actually my dog. I got a dog. They put it in a box. I was awoken by him howling, uh, and so I ran out, and it was like I don't know, it was still dark outside. I take him out of the box. It's a dog. I was so happy. Um, he and then it snowed that day too, and so there was like like a foot of snow outside, and so I took him outside and I let him go into the snow, and you just see like a little I don't know, what would it be like, kind of like Bugs Bunny when he burrows underground, it's just like this little bump that was kept bouncing as he was running through the snow. That was a good memory. On the other hand, one of my worst memories from Christmas was probably the next year when I woke up excited. You guys remember how it was. You get a gift and you're just like, it's Christmas morning and you're just like, you wake everybody up, or you try to wake everybody up because you just want to get to what's under the tree. And so I come, running down running down the hallway, and I get to the Christmas tree, and there's absolutely nothing underneath. uh, because the way we did it in our house was pretty much, and this was long after I stopped believing in Santa Claus. There was really nothing under the tree until like Christmas morning, and then that was when all the gifts were there, and so there was just nothing under the Christmas tree. And I heard my parents just kind of call out, and they're like, "Oh, Santa Claus is called. He said he's running late." He said to go back to your room, and then he'd be right back. They overslept. They I guess they like fell asleep in the at nighttime, and they woke up, or they didn't wake up in the middle of the night to put the gifts underneath the tree. And and so that was uh, kind of one of my worst memories. Any doubts I had that Santa Claus didn't exist were shattered beyond repair. What about you, Johanna? What is one of your favorite or worst memories of either Christmases long past or even more recent?
So, it's funny because me and Christina, who was on the show a couple episodes back, were just talking about this. So I think like a little bit more than a month after Aviva was born was Christmas. So I kind of just, I don't even know how it happened. Like people were kind of just like, well, we'll just drop by at some point. And I was like, cool. I'll just make a ton of food. I'll put it out and people can eat when they come. So I did like a, back when I had time, I loved to do cheese plates with wine pairings. I might do it again sometime. And I would, there's a really nice cheese place in the Lower East Side, and then there's an independent wine place a couple of blocks down from the cheese place. So I'd buy the cheese, and then I would go to the wine place, and they would give me like some pairings, and it'd be great. So I did that, and I made lamb, and I make these sliced potatoes simmered in butter and saffron, and I made that. And I must have made a salad or some shit. So I had my friend Mary came over. She helped me. This is, back when kids nap, like when, she's a newborn, so she was like napping 10 hours or whatever. So I got it all done. And my mom came and my grandmother came. And my friend Mary was there for a while. And, they're all eating. And then Christina comes with her boyfriend and with her hot cousin Bugsy and with Khalid, who's like an amazing photographer. And like they just, we all ate. We really had a lot of fun. It's like these two people we don't know who kind of just they're like adventurers. They like went around literally the world just kind of, meeting people, and they're very entertaining. And we started telling Khalid about how like at the hospital we got all these pictures done and they charged us, and he's like, oh man, I feel really bad about that. He's like, I'm gonna take some pictures of Aviva like for free. And he's like this extremely talented photographer, and he took all these pictures of her. And then my mother left, my grandma left, Mary left, and it was just like Christina, her boyfriend Bugsy, and Khalid, and we just played like apples to apples till like 1 a.m. And it's still something where, like, I was like, oh, like, you're going to Michigan for Christmas. And Christina was like, yeah, like, I am. She's like, but wasn't that Christmas great? That Christmas that we all spent together with Bugsy and Khalid? And I'm like, yeah, it was. It really was. So, yeah.
Okay, that's great. And what about you, Joe?
All right. Since I gave my worst toy last time, I'll give one of my favorite memories from Christmas. This is around the time the Sega Genesis came out. I was already working. I was already an adult. I was going to college. I was working, and but I wanted the new game system, so I had put money aside to buy it after Christmas. And I'm a basketball game freak, so I had bought the game Lakers versus Celtics for the Sega Genesis like early December. I bought it, so I would have it, so it wouldn't be sold out when I bought my Sega Genesis after Christmas. So Christmas Eve, it's my first Christmas Eve spending with my wife now. She was my girlfriend then. We had only been dating like 2 months, 3 months at the time. Our first Christmas Eve together. And in my family, you open up gifts at midnight on Christmas Eve. So, we had the family over the house and everything. So I opened my gift, and it was the Sega Genesis. So I was like, cool. My mother and my aunt had chipped in to get it for me. So I let it sit there for a little bit. And then I grabbed it, and I grabbed the game, and then I snuck to the basement. And I left Lydia upstairs with my family while I hooked up the TV downstairs, and I was playing Lakers versus Celtics for the rest of the night. So you can imagine we waited till midnight. I'm down there. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. And, before that, Lydia comes down. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm just playing the new game. I just totally left her upstairs with my family. And she, to this day, she does not let me live it down. She just brings it up like every Christmas. Hey, remember that time you left me upstairs? We had just started dating. You left me upstairs and went downstairs to play your video game. So I think this is a good memory. It was funny, and it's something that she never lets me live down.
Wow. So your favorite Christmas memory is...
It's not my favorite Christmas memory. I said it's a good memory. It just makes me laugh when I think about it.
Right.
makes me
So
laugh.
one of your favorite Christmas memories was playing Sega Genesis in the basement while your family was upstairs.
It's not that. It's so much that it was Lydia's first Christmas with us, and I had abandoned her upstairs, and the fact that she just never lets me forget it. It just makes me laugh every time I think about it. I don't think of it as like something bad. It's just something funny, and something that it won't go away. And it's been over 20 years, so and it still comes up. It already came up
Wow,
this
20
Christmas.
years. Great. Um, yeah, that's terrific. So were you the Lakers or the Celtics?
Celtics all the time. Yeah, Larry
Okay.
Bird.
Larry Bird. Great. Awesome. Let's see. Where are we now? In the agenda. Um, totally lost my place. Awesome, guys. So now, like I said, Christmas is while it's a time for family to get together and it's a time to talk about memories of Christmases past, it's also a time for presents. So, what I want us to do is go ahead and open our Christmas presents that we got one another. Who would like to go first? And what we'll do is we'll just take turns giving gifts. So you give a gift to somebody, they give a gift to you, and we'll just exchange presents that way. Kind of organic process. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Great.
All right, so you gave us $100 limit, right, to spend it all on our fellow agents. Is that correct?
Big money.
Right. Fake $100 fake money, so that leaves $33 a piece fake money. So with that $33, Johanna, I am going to get you the complete Cosby Show DVD collection because I think that's something that you need, and it's pretty cheap right now. I'm sure, based on everything that's been going on, I'm sure I could get it for under $33, and
Hold
I
on,
think it's.
Joe. Let me just stop you there. That was great. We're gonna do it again.
Why am I going to do it again?
And just
You
do
want me
it
to leave
in
out
the
the money
present.
aspect?
No, well, sure, but you can also
Okay.
just do it in the present tense instead of the future tense.
So
Okay.
I've got you.
I'm sorry.
No, it's
Oh,
fine.
as if
Okay. You ready?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So, Johanna, I would like to give this to you. It is the complete collection, the complete Cosby Show DVD collection. Um, you definitely can use it because seeing that you haven't seen any episodes except maybe
Hey,
one or two,
two.
this is something you definitely need to do is watch this. And, I got it at a low, low price. They're practically giving it away.
Yeah, I don't
That,
know, man. This is dangerous times to be handing out Cosby Show DVDs.
I think what
Well,
you mean to say, Johanna, is thank you.
you're being ungrateful.
I'm not ungrateful. I'm just covering my hide.
Merry Christmas, Johanna.
Thank you, Joe.
It was my pleasure.
And Joe, I have something for you
Oh,
too.
goody, goody, goody. What do I get?
The Jane Austen movie collection. Because you loved Death at Pemberley so much that you let us know about it.
Does that come with a gun as well? Because I think that comes to New Rochelle.
You're going to enjoy it. You're going to love it. You're going to come back and say, Jane Austen, where have you been all my life?
Johanna, that's the gift that keeps on giving. Thank you.
Sweet, very sweet. And Johanna, obviously, I got you a beginner's kit for beekeeping. So it comes with smoke and honeycombs and a one of those funny looking hats.
It's a veil. I think it's a veil. I don't know. Well, Lorenzo, I got you some silken tofu chocolate pudding. because I
Oh,
know that I know you can't have sweets and you can't have gluten. So there you go. And you liked it that one time I made it.
Oh yeah, that was delicious. Thank you,
I
Johanna. That's really sweet.
literally, well, not really because I tried to cut down the sugar for you.
And I appreciate it. Although I am completely off the wagon this Christmas. But
All right.
anyway, because it was good nonetheless. Who wants to go next?
Well, I guess I'll go since I didn't, since I haven't gotten a gift from anybody yet.
Aww.
So Lorenzo, I wanted to let you know. Well, here's a picture of the gift. It's actually being shipped. I wasn't able to get it prior to Christmas, but I believe you'll enjoy it. So what I did was I went to Craigslist and I found a used orange couch from The Wire for $35, really. And it comes complete with bullet holes, burn stains, and it smells like the crack epidemic. So you'll completely enjoy it. It'll fit right in.
Thanks, man. That's awesome. And I got you a Sons of Anarchy signed by Jax himself motorcycle helmet. For when you finally get that motorcycle, you can wear this helmet. I know you wanted the Predator helmet, but I thought you might like this one too.
No, man, that's amazing. Now I can wear the helmet of a group that I can't be a part of because I'm black.
Well, actually, that's not true. They did change.
Not anymore. Yeah, not anymore. But they
Right.
changed it for that black guy. I think there's only one of us allowed. I think it's kind of like The Walking Dead. There's only one of us in at a time.
Only
We'll
one
have to wait till
at a
he,
time.
yeah, they'll have to wait till he dies before I can get in. That's cool. Well, that's great. I love it. Thank you very much, man.
Sure.
Yeah. What's up, Johanna?
So I went on eBay looking for things for you, and I found out this was a thing, and I said, wow, this combines two things that Malik enjoys. So I got you every single issue of the Janet Jackson comic book that came out in 1992.
Holy crap! Absolutely. That is.
I didn't even know this was a thing.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Johanna. And what I wanted to give you was because I love the way that you curse so politely. I thought I'd find a few books and because I know you love to read, I thought I'd find a few books to help both provide me with awesome sound bites and assist you with dealing with Uber drivers. So here they are. The first one is called "Curse and Berate People in 69 Plus Languages." The second one is called "Dear Asshole, 101 Tear Out Letters to the Morons Who Muck Up Your Life." The third one is called "Creative Cursing." It's a mix and match profanity generator. And the last one is called "WTF, How to Survive 101 of Life's Worst Fucking Situations." So I think those will really work well for you.
This is the happiest Christmas ever, you guys. I mean, Cosby Show, beekeeper costume, and learning to curse and berating Uber drivers. I do not berate the Uber drivers, by the way, because they rate you.
Well, now they won't know what you're saying because you're cursing in 69 different languages. They won't know what the hell you're talking about.
Touche. You're right.
So I hope you really enjoy that.
Yay.
Wow, this has turned out to be a really special Christmas.
Joe.
Yes, Malik.
So for you, because I know you like Fast and Furious so much, I went out and I got you a 20-pack of the Vin Diesel Indestructible White Tees from that show, from those movies. So I was able to find them specifically on the corner of on a street corner, and I got a deal for them because usually they're 5 for $20, but I got the guy to, since I ordered 20, I got the guy to give me a $10 discount, and so I got it for the cheap price of $70. So I took that $10 and I got you a $10 Best Buy gift card, and that's so that you can use your El Cheapo talents to find a way to buy 15 Blu-rays for $10.
That's my style. Thank you, Malik.
No problem, man.
And for you, buddy, I got you. It has not been released yet. I got you the Pacific Rim Director's Unrated Extended Peter Jackson Cut, which has yet to be done, which has yet to be released. But I got that for you, buddy. That's because I know I want to give you something that you care about.
That is so awesome. You thought about me so much, and you got Peter Jackson to fully direct it again.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's gonna be
Hey, you
3.5
did it all for
hours.
$30. That was amazing.
I did that all for $30. All for you, Malik.
Well, I think you might have gone over the limit. I think you might have gone over the $30 limit, Joe, but that's okay because for you, I kind of went over the $30 limit too, and I got you a Wii U. You are welcome, brother. You are so welcome.
Thank you. I'm sure my daughter will love it. Thank you very much. And for you, Lorenzo, I want you to be the best Lorenzo that you could be. So I got you socks that look like hands so you can fulfill your double hands legacy.
Awesome. I had no idea they have those, but I'm glad they do.
Yes.
And I want to go get some more. That's great, guys. That's great. Terrific. And I have a special treat for you guys, for all of you. And it is, more drum roll, Santa Claus. That's right. Who needs Macy's when you have the Agents of Helm very Christmassy Christmas special Christmas. That's right. So, without further ado, let me bring him out and have him talk to you guys.
Bendito.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. How are all of you guys doing?
Good, Santa.
Don't
Great,
answer
Santa.
that. I already know. I know when you've been naughty. I know when you've been nice. Johanna, you've been pretty nice. Malik,
Yay.
we know about what you did, Malik. And Joe, you've been all right this year, but I'm never going to forget about that time you left your wife upstairs while you were downstairs playing video games.
Santa,
What?
let me make it up to you.
Oh, really? How are you intending to do that, Joe?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, since it is Christmas and I am Santa Claus, ho ho ho, I am going to go ahead and have all three of you sit on my lap and tell me what you would like for Christmas. Why don't we start with you, Johanna? Ho 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 ho. Sit on my lap.
For Christmas, I would like. Well, I already got it. Well, I don't know. Can we fix this in post? I wasn't ready for this.
You want a post fixer for Christmas?
I want a post fixer for Christmas. I just want permanent post fixing rights. Like, just yeah.
Do they sell that? Do you guys have that in the hardware store? Post fixer?
I mean, we might. There's quite a lot of things in the store. Many, many useful things.
Ho ho ho. I think we're getting a little off topic.
Sorry, Santa.
It's quite all right. Johanna, you're getting a little heavy.
I'm still like on this. I would like.
By the way, that is my belt buckle.
Okay, so I have like a ton of posters, right? Like I have every single kind of poster you can think of. I have like I have some things I bought from Comic-Con. Like I have stuff that have literally like has followed us from like apartment to apartment. Like we
Ho ho ho! I know all of this, Johanna. Please give me the abridged version. There are other children waiting.
fix it in post. So I just would like custom framing for all of them because they're just not, this is the dumbest answer in the world, but yeah, that's really what I want.
Ho ho ho! I think I can handle that.
Yay.
It is perhaps the most boring Christmas gift that I've ever heard, but hey, it's Christmas. What about you, Joe? Come over here. Sit on my lap, Joe.
All right, Santa. I really got this cool Wii U. I really got this cool Wii U from Lorenzo, but don't tell him. Can I trade it in and get a PS4?
Ho, ho, ho. Absolutely not. What I will give you is more video games for your Wii U. I'll give you Smash Brothers, ho, ho, ho. And I will give you Mario Kart 8, ho, ho, ho. And I will give you Mario Brothers, ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
That's a lot of Mario.
Next, Malik. Come here, Malik. That's it. There we go. Yeah. Oh.
So,
Welcome,
yeah,
Snap
Santa,
Kids
sorry
for
about that.
Christmas.
Sorry, Santa, but real quick, I ain't sitting on another grown-ass man's lap. That's just not happening. So I'm gonna stand up for these requests real quick. Just got I got a couple of issues with that, you know. So my own personal thing. But here's my thing.
Oh.
I got a really, you know, with my house, it's starting to get a little cramped, and I don't have any space to myself. So what I need a personal gaming system. I need an arcade. I want you to create me an arcade. I want you to get me an arcade, my own arcade where I can put all my video games in. I can insert them there, and if any of my kids try to touch it, it gives them a little bit of an electric shock, to kind of, you know, show them that they can't touch my shit. And it'd be my place, and build me in like a man cave. I want a real man cave. Like right now, I just have a little corner, and that's getting invaded so frequently anyway. I need a man cave. So I need barriers for my man cave, and my own arcade system. Those are the only two things I want for Christmas, man.
Ho, ho, ho. Well, I can't get you all of that. I won't quite fit on the sled. What I will get you is that video game from Octopussy. The video game from Octopussy where you play head-to-head versus another person, and both of you get shocked until one of you finally gives up.
Okay, I'll see what I can do with that.
Joe, is it from Octopussy? Was that right?
I can't remember.
I need to look it up because I don't want to get that wrong.
Can we re-record mine? Because mine's really stupid.
Yeah, hold on. I need to find out about this James Bond.
You don't want custom framing, Johanna? Is that it?
Come on, that was really stupid. I thought this question was going to be phrased differently. I didn't realize I was going to end up sitting on Santa's lap. Okay.
What's that got to do with anything?
Because I didn't realize it was fantastical. I thought it was, you know, just my answers were not, you know, big enough.
She's got to really go for it.
Okay, so I'm gonna fix mine too because I said never say never again.
Oh God, the last one was Sean Connery. Yeah.
Is that what it is? It's
that was Sean Connery's last. That was the last time he played James Bond.
Domination.
I think it's funnier as Octopussy.
Sean. Yeah. I mean, yeah, but we got to be we got to be on point with James Bond. We're gonna piss off our fans if we get it wrong. Our fans care about James Bond.
Oh, I care now because Idris Elba might be James Bond.
That's been gonna happen for a while.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Ho, ho, ho. Well, Malik, I don't know if all that will fit in the sled, but what I can get you is Domination. The game from Sean Connery's last James Bond movie, where he has to fight an arch villain on a 3D video game. You can put that in your living room, and whenever your wife starts talking smack, you can challenge her to a game of domination in which both of you get electrically shocked until one of you gives up. This should be a great way to settle all of your arguments. Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, we'll give that a shot.
And what about you, Johanna? Come sit on my lap. That's a girl. Yeah. Okay. Ho, 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 ho.
Simmer down there, buddy.
Ho, ho.
Simmer down. So I'm really into artisanal meads. Mead is wine made from honey.
I know what
And-
mead is. I've been drinking mead. I'm 1,200 years old.
Were you a Viking?
Let's not get into that. There was definitely a time when Santa Claus was more naughty.
So I would just like an attached room in my house, my apartment, for artisanal meads. All at the right temperature, those that taste good, chilled, the sparkling ones chilled, the ones that should be at room temperature chilled. And I would like an especially made set of mead glasses. I don't know if they exist, but I would make them. I would have them made for me, hand painted with little vines and things, maybe some Viking symbols. And every time anybody would come to my house for the first time, I would make them drink mead so they would not attack me in my sleep. So I would like that, and I would also like people to reduce their carbon footprint and to stop burning fossil fuels.
Ho, ho, ho. I can't quite swing all of that, mostly because Sean, your husband, has been, you've been mean to him way too much. You make fun of him all the time. You make fun of the way he talks. You make fun of the way he dances. Ho, ho, ho. What I will get you is a 40 of Mickeys. A 40 of Mickeys and a paper cup.
I've been good, I swear.
Ho, ho, ho. Well, that's all the time. I gotta go deliver presents now and not give food to poor kids because that's Jesus' job. Ho, 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 ho. So I gotta go. But it's been a pleasure. And Merry Christmas. Ho, 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 ho. Say goodbye to me. What's wrong with you? I'm
Bye.
sorry.
Bye, Santa.
Later, Santa. Have a good one, man.
Get back up that chimney.
Oh, all right, Santa. It was good seeing you. Yeah, me and Santa are pals, so I thought it'd be fun to bring him on the show. I hope you guys got a chance to share what you want with him, and I hope he didn't tell you you'd poke your eye out. Great, and so I thought it would also be fun to, since this episode is coming out right around Christmas Day, Christmas night, Christmas Eve.
New Year's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Very funny, very funny. I'll be fixing that in post. Yeah, do you guys want to tell us one of your favorite presents that you've gotten your kid?
Yeah, sure. I bought my son a drum set, his first drum set. So
that is
like
Ricky Ricardo.
he likes making a bunch of noise, and he loves being he's kind of musical. So I really can't wait to hear him rock out with his first drum set.
Did you also soundproof his room?
I did not, but I do think that that's coming if in the event that he really does like it. Because now again, he's going to be sharing his room with his little brother when his little brother comes later next year. So I'm probably going to have to keep it somewhere else.
Yeah. Who, the little brother or the drum set?
No, the drum set.
Right. Right. What about you, Joe?
My daughter is a avid collector of American Girl dolls. So she wanted the kitchen set to go with it. So of course, because they need to eat, they need to cook, they need to refrigerate and all this stuff. So we got her the kitchen set to use with her American Girl dolls.
Nice. Johanna?
So, we got a lot of little tiny things for Aviva, like crafty stuff.
Your favorite.
I know, but I'm doing an intro. This is a prelude, okay? You're just gonna cut it out in post. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, as long as your prelude, has a clear ending and there's a beginning to the part that you actually would like for it to be in the show.
So I'll just start again, and you can decide from there. So, cut. So we got Aviva a lot of little tiny things. We got her so happy. So you said I could have a prelude, damn it.
Yeah, I was joking, but go ahead.
I think for Christmas you're gonna get a personal editor.
Lorenzo. Right there. All right, so I'll start again. So for Christmas, one of the things we got Aviva was one of those dogs that like walks and talks on its own or some shit, you know. And we're hoping that this will keep her from continuing to ask us for a dog, because we already have a 10-year-old cat. We do not need a dog. So I'm hoping, you know, she sees it around the house, she chases after it, you know, she doesn't have to clean up its pee or its poop, and she'll be happy.
Very cool. Very cool. So here, I'll tell you guys what. So can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he might be awake and he's like in the next room. So one of my favorite things that I got him was a 64 gig micro SD card, which by the way also has a an SD card slot that it fits into, so that you can an adapter. But anyway, so I got him a 64 gig mini SD card that will fit into his tablet, and I packed it full of all of his favorite things. So it's got The Walking Dead comic book, and it's got a bunch of zombie movies, and a bunch of books that he likes, and a bunch of music, and he'll be able to fit all of his other games and stuff on it. So I was pretty excited about that. Anyway, yeah, and that's a reasonably priced gift. If you I'm not saying that. Well, I'll just leave it at that. Great. And let's see. Okay, so it would not be an Agents of Helm very special Christmas special without talking about some of our favorite movies. So what I thought it'd be fun to do is just quickly discuss some of our favorite scenes from movies, from Christmas movies of days past. I thought it would be fun to start with Joe, because I got a feeling Joe's got many. But Joe, let's just talk about one, maybe one that we haven't touched on this episode.
Okay, so probably one of my favorite scenes, and always almost gets a tear out of my eye, is in Miracle on 34th Street, when little young Natalie Wood playing Susan Walker, when they're I don't know if you guys have all seen the original version of it or not.
Yes.
Where they're leaving at the very end, because she asked Santa for a house, like a real house. So when they leave the home where Santa stays, which is not the North Pole, it's a home for for old folks. They leave, and she's like, "Stop the car!" And because she was like, really not believing in Santa, didn't think that, since he couldn't get her the house, that he wasn't real. So as they're driving, he gives them these special directions to get home, and they pass the house, and she's like, "Stop the car! Stop the car!" And she gets out, she runs up, and she's like, goes in the house. Obviously it's empty, and she sees the house. She sees the house that she described to Santa. She runs in, and she runs upstairs. She's like, "My room, it looks just like I thought it would be. He's real, Mommy, he's real." And then, the whole thing, it just kind of usually like chokes me up a little bit at the end. That's one of my favorite Christmas movies. I watch it every year. I watched it today with my daughter. Well, actually, she didn't want to watch it with me, but I watched it. She ended up watching some of it with me. But yeah, that scene at the end usually gets me close to choking up.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great scene. It's a classic movie too. Yeah, one of my favorite scenes is when they bring out all the letters to Santa.
Yeah.
They fill up the courtroom with the postage.
Yeah.
With all the letters for Santa.
And yep.
Yep. What about you, Johanna?
So I really like the Christmas Carol. What is it? A Christmas Carol? The Christmas Carol.
Uh-huh.
I just like have been watching it a lot with Aviva. She's not a fan. So I really like just the whole like how not to be an asshole process. You know, like he's with the ghost of Christmas past and he realizes he was a dick to that woman, and Christmas present, you know, like people are talking about what a dick he is, Christmas future, Tiny Tim is dead. It's all very dark. But I think people, you know, in general could do with seeing their whole lives and figuring out where they're assholes, and then, you know, the next day he wakes up and he's filled with a kindness and generosity of spirit because he's been given another chance, and also because he realizes he himself is flawed. And I think to some extent part of that can be the spirit of Christmas.
That's great, Johanna. It's a really great answer. Unfortunately, it is wrong. What we were asking for was a specific scene, but that's okay. Malik?
So, my favorite scene from my favorite Christmas movie has to be, hands down, when little Kevin Arnold orders a pizza and has the delivery boy come to the back to give him the pizza, and he starts playing the scene from Angels with Filthy Souls to scare the bejesus out of the delivery kid. I absolutely love that scene. It's like a 1 minute long throwaway scene. I wish I could do that. I loved playing pranks as a kid, and that was one of those things where I wish I could do that. Like rewind and pause it and rewind it to the exact point where you could do that, and and pretend like you're shooting at this delivery kid and make him run and damn near pee his pants, you know, leaving the scene, and only give him like a 20-cent tip along with that.
Yeah,
So
filthy animal.
yeah, keep the change. Keep the change, you filthy animal. I love that. I love that scene.
I don't remember. Wait a minute. You're talking about
Home Alone.
Home Alone.
Yeah, Home
But
Alone.
didn't you say Kevin Arnold?
Yeah, isn't that his name? I can't remember
No,
his
it's Kevin. Yeah, when you said that, I was like,
name.
he's
I was
gonna
like,
he's
Wonder
gonna talk about
Years.
something from the Wonder Years.
No, I thought, it's Kevin something.
Kevin McAllister, I believe it is. I didn't look it up. I'm just trying to go from memory. I think it's Kevin McAllister.
Holy crap!
Okay.
I thought it was Kevin Arnold. Sorry.
I think it's Kevin McAllister. I have to look it up.
Yeah, I was like, man, I do not remember that episode from Awesome. Yeah, one of my favorite scenes, maybe not the favorite, maybe not even whatever, but one of my favorite scenes is when the dad from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Joe, his name is,
Clark Griswold.
thank you. Yeah, when Clark is shopping for perfume for his wife at the mall, and a very lovely lady is his saleswoman, and I guess he's trying out perfumes with her, and he finds himself flirting with her like ridiculously, and she's showing, when this came out, I was like amazed by her cleavage, and you know what scene I'm talking about, Joe.
I just watched the movie right before we did the podcast.
Yeah, so it's at the beginning, and yeah, he's talking to the salesperson, and he's just his reaction. And if you know Mr. Griswold, you know what I mean when he gets flustered with the ladies. And at one point, she's showing him was it her panties or her garter?
Her thighs. Like, see, it doesn't see. You can't even see it. He's like, Russ,
Yeah.
You can't see it, can you?
And he's like, nope. And yeah, Russ is his son. His son just comes up, and different Russ than in the original, but Russ just comes up, and yeah, he totally gets busted flirting with his yeah. And so I think the reason why I liked it so much was because I was like prepubescent or whatever when it came out, and yeah, it gave me like special feelings.
Special feelings.
Got a tingly feeling, huh?
Yeah, and I thought I would bring that up because this is the very special Christmas special. So special feelings abound. Ho ho ho. Okay, great. Yes, indeed. Finally, no Christmas special episodes. Very special. As you can tell, I'm still working on the title of our Christmas special. our special Christmas special. Our special Christmas special. That's too many specials, right? Our very special Christmas special. Yeah, it just wouldn't be complete without a little bit of karaoke. Yay! I thought we would start off with Joe. Are you ready for this?
I knew I was gonna go first. So should I have the music playing in the background?
Yeah, just not too loud so that we can just put it in later, and then you can just send me the link to whatever you use. So like, I don't know if you bothered to look for the karaoke version, but if there's an instrumental version, that'd be great. If not, I'll work with it.
Let me look it up real quick. Are we singing the whole song?
Well, go ahead. I'll edit it if necessary.
Yeah, I'm definitely not singing the whole song of mine. Just to let you know, it's really the song that I picked is really long. So.
What'd you say, Malik?
I said the song I picked is long, so I'm not gonna do that. I was only gonna do the first verse of mine.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, you're not obligated, Joe.
All right, so we don't have to sing the whole thing. This is like 4 minutes long.
Yeah.
All right. Did you hear when I played it just now?
No.
I heard it. I did.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's okay. It's okay if it's not. I mean, I'm going to be playing a louder version of it anyway, so it's not the end of the world if it's there.
Can you guys hear it?
No.
No.
No?
I can't.
Okay. I'm just trying to get where it starts. You guys can't hear it, right?
No.
No.
All right. So if you can't hear it, I might as well just play the real version. This way I don't have to like guess where it starts. All right, hold on. I was thinking about changing it to the Treacherous 3 Christmas Rap or Curtis Blow, but we'll do this. I think more people are more familiar with this one. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. And you can't hear the music in the background, right?
Nope.
Okay, excellent. All right, I'm watching the video now. I'm just waiting for it to start. All right, the music's starting. All right. Mm-mm-mm-mm. It was December 24th on hours after dark when I seen a man chilling with his dog at the park. I approached it very slowly with my heart full of fear. I looked at his dog. Oh my God, an ill reindeer. But then I was chilling because the man had a beard and a bag full of goodies. 12 o'clock had neared, so I turned my head. Second, the man was gone, but he must have dropped his wallet smack dab on the lawn. I picked up his wallet. I took a pause. Took a license in the code. Said Santa Claus. $1 million in it. Cold hundreds of G's. Enough to buy boat magic car with ease. But I never steal from Santa, 'cause that ain't right. So I was going home to mail it back to him that night. But when I got home, I bugged, 'cause under the tree was a letter from Santa and the dose for me. It's Christmas time in Hollis, Queens. Mom's cooking chicken and collard greens, rice and stuffing macaroni and cheese, and Santa putting gifts under the Christmas tree. Decorate the house with lights at night. Snow's on the ground, snow white so bright. In the fireplace place is the Yule log. Beneath the mistletoe as we drink eggnog. The rhymes that you hear are the rhymes of Daryl's, but each and every year we bust Christmas carols. Rhyme so loud and proud to hear it. It's Christmas time and we got the spirit. Jack Frost chilling, the hawk is out, and that's what Christmas is all about. The time is now, the place is here, and the whole wide world is filled with cheer. My name's DMC with the mic in my hand, and I'm chilling and cooling just like a snowman. So open your eyes, lend us a ear. We want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And that's it.
Woo! Great job, Joe. Great job.
Yippee!
Awesome. Way to go. So next up we've got Malik.
Okay, so this is a different song. You guys may not have. Some of you may have heard it. Some of you may have not. Back in, I want to say, actually, I want to say that this song was kind of paid homage to the song that Joe just sang. So Kanye West did a song in 2010 that goes a little something like this. And again, like I said, I'm only doing the first verse because it's a really long song. There's a whole bunch of people featured on it, so it's a little bit too long. Just let me know if you guys can hear this. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
You can? Okay. Okay, hold on. What about now?
I still hear it a little bit, but I think Lorenzo's going to play the music over top of it, right?
Okay. That's fine. All right. Let me just set myself up. All right. Okay, give me a second. All right. Okay. Christmas in Harlem, right after autumn falls, soaking it all in. Then we go hit the mall, even though we ain't ballin'. Feels like we bought it all. The mistletoe's right here. Come give a kiss to Santa Claus. Merry Christmas to all and all a good night. Huh, now we all living the good life. Yeah, though it's 40 below the wind chill. Oh, shoot, I gotta start over. I lost my place. Sorry. I'll start over. I got the verses in front of me, so sorry. Let me start over.
Yeah, Kanye.
Yeah. All right, here we go. All right, go ahead. Christmas in Harlem, right after autumn falls, soaking it all in. Then we go hit the mall, even though we ain't ballin'. Feels like we bought it all. The mistletoe's right here. Come give a kiss to Santa Claus. Merry Christmas to all and all a good night. Huh, now we all living the good life. Yeah, though it's 40 below the wind chill. And we wiping the snow off the windshield. It's still wonderful night to be alive, baby. And I'm so happy to be with my baby. And we a little late with the Christmas gift, rushing for the mall. Don't trip, you know I drive crazy. The streets is lit up, feel like Christmas officially. Told her that you the star on top of my Christmas tree. My only question is, with my present, she said, shh, she got a gift for me that ain't for the kids to see. Well, I like the way you think, mommy. Now pour some eggnog back in your drink, mommy. You been the bad girl. Give Santa 3 kisses. Gave her the hot chocolate. She said it's delicious. Christmas in Harlem. Right after autumn falls, though we ain't ballin', then we go hit the mall. Even though we ain't ballin', feels like we bought it all. The mistletoe's right here. Come give a kiss to Santa Claus. And that's it.
Cool, man.
Great. That's
There you go.
great. Malik, so you'll send me that link, right?
Yeah, I'll send you a link right now.
Awesome. Sounds good. And last but not least, what song is that, by the way? Oh, it's Christmas in Harlem.
It's called Christmas in Harlem, and it's got like a whole bunch of people from Harlem, people rappers that are from Harlem singing on it, and Kanye West is the first verse.
Oh, wow. So let me just check real quick.
There's an instrumental for it. I found it.
Okay, great. And you
Yep.
send me that. Awesome.
Yep.
All right. I guess I should go next because I think Johanna should close us out.
Okay.
So let me just get my stuff ready. Hold on one second. Great job, guys. All right. This is perhaps a little bit more unrehearsed than it should be, but we'll see how it goes. Can always fix it in post, right, Johanna?
Hardy har har.
Let's see.
Hardy har har.
Okay. Great. Joe, it's okay right here?
What?
I'm good, right?
You sound?
Yeah, like you can't hear the song, can you?
No, I can't hear it.
Okay. It was Christmas Eve, babe, in the drunk tank. An old man said to me, won't see another one. And then he sang a song, the rare old Mountain Dew. I turned my face away and dreamed about you. Got on a lucky one, came in 18 to 1. I've got a feeling this year's for me and you. So happy Christmas. I love you, baby. I can see a better time when all our dreams come true. They've got cars big as bars, they've got rivers of gold, but the wind comes right through you, it's no place for the old. When you first took my hand on a cold Christmas Eve, you promised me Broadway was waiting for me. You were handsome, you were pretty, queen of New York City. When the band finished playing, they held out for more. Sinatra was swinging, all the drunks they were singing. We kissed on a corner, then danced through the night. The boys of the NYPD choir were singing Galloway Bay, and the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day.
You're a bum, you're a punk, you're an old slut on junk, lying there almost dead on a drip in the bed. You're a scumbag, you maggot, you cheap, lousy faggot. Happy Christmas, you arse. I pray God it's our last. Boy, shucks, I messed up that part. And don't worry, Johanna, I'll beep it out. And the boys of the NYPD choir still singing Galloway Bay, and the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day. I could have been someone, but so could anyone. You took my dreams from me when I first found you. I kept them with me, babe. I put them with my own. Can't make it all alone. I built my dreams around you. And the boys of the NYPD choir still singing Galloway Bay, and the bells are ringing out for Christmas Day. Okay, I'm done. Are you guys still there?
Very nice. I'm sorry, I was on mute.
Okay, great.
Where is that from?
It's called Fairy Tale from New York. It's the Pogues. The Pogues. Fairy Tale of New York. Featuring Christy McCall. Yeah, it's a Christmas classic. Okay, great. Johanna, are you ready?
Hannah, you still on mute?
Okay, I'm off mute now. I've got my Who's and my Boober. And okay, all right. I'll work with the levels to see what you guys can hear. Can you hear that?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Cool.
Let me, Johanna, let me give you an intro. I think you deserve an intro.
Okay.
Okay. Well, everybody, it's been a fantastic, very Merry Christmas special. And I'm glad you all could join us, and we wish you the very best Christmas ever, or Kwanzaa, or Hanukkah, or Festivus for the rest of us. Because this is a time for joy and celebration, for being together with your family, with your friends, and for suicide. But don't do the suicide thing. Instead, why don't you take a listen whenever you're feeling down to our own Johanna singing a Christmas classic. So Johanna's going to take us out. Everybody say goodbye. Say Merry Christmas and goodbye.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
And Happy New Year. Okay, Johanna, take us out.
Okay. Santa baby, just slip a sable under the tree for me. Been an awful good girl, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa baby, a 50 Ford convertible to light blue. I'll wait up for you, dear Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Think of all the fun I've missed. Think of all the fellas that I haven't kissed. Next year I could be just as good if you check off my Christmas list. Santa baby, I want a yacht, and really that's not a lot. Been an angel all year, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa honey, one little thing that I really need, the deed to a platinum mine, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa cutie, and fill my stocking with the duplex and checks. Sign your X on the line, Santa cutie, and hurry down the chimney tonight. Come and trim my Christmas tree with some decorations bought at Tiffany's. I really do believe in you. Let's see if you believe in me. Santa baby, forgot to mention one little thing, a ring. I don't mean on the phone, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Hurry down the chimney tonight. Hurry tonight. Okie doke.
Woo! Bravo.
Very nice.
Very good, Johanna. I knew I could count on you for the most awesomest Christmas karaoke.
Yeah, I was doing all the humming in the background. That doo doo doo. I was doing the whole thing the whole time while you're doing it. I'm like, perfect.
Oh man, maybe next year we'll do a cappella Santa baby.
Look, I'm down. I definitely know that song.
I definitely practiced, you guys. Okay,
Is that styled in Eartha Kitt?
Yeah.
Yep.
I listened to the Eartha Kitt version over and over and over and over.
That's the only real version to listen to.
Yeah.
You rocked it.
Oh, thank you.
Good job.
I feel like it's not the kind of song you can fuck up, so I practiced.
Good work.
Yeah.
Good work. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it, guys. I think we got everything we need on tape, and I'll be working on it on the flight to San Antonio tomorrow.
How long is that flight, by the way?
Man, I don't know. We leave at 9:30 or something in the morning, not too early, and we get there like around 3 something in the afternoon.
It's a direct flight, or are you guys stopping?
No, I'm pretty sure we're stopping somewhere.
Oh, okay.
I had to look at the itinerary. Yeah, I think direct it's like maybe 5.5 hours or something.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. But yeah, that was a great show, guys. Thanks.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Fun sauce.
So, are you ready for the Sons of Anarchy special?
Just go ahead, man.
Yeah.
Are we just gonna talk? I mean, Malik and I did see Annie. Could we just let's do a couple of minutes, then you can have the rest.
Great.
And don't cut it out.
I won't. Yeah, awesome. And then should we keep recording here or?
Yeah, I don't see why. I mean,
that's fine.
Unless you want 2 separate files, but
no, it's fine with me. I'm
yeah.
cool.
Let's just keep going.
Malik, are you ready? So what you'll do, I guess, is intro. Maybe throw it to Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Put your 2 cents in, and then do the transition. I'll do like a sort of a recap of all 7 years, like in 2 minutes, and then you can you can go back and forth if I get something wrong or I'll call out for help or whatever, and then you can just give us the last episode because I haven't finished it, and I think I'm okay with you spoiling it for me. And just be sure to of course be sure to mention that this is like a spoiler, not free show.
Yeah. All right. All right. Let me just. Let's do something.
Hurry down the chimney tonight.
It's been stuck in my head all week. So.
Really should have done the Treacherous 3 song.
It's not too late, man. If you
No,
want.
I don't want to. But if you get a chance, I don't know. If it was in Beat Street, if you've ever seen Beat Street, they sing it in there.
Tetris. I mean, send me the link, and then I can use it for background music and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, I'll send you the link.
Great. Yeah, and if any of you guys have like some favorite Christmas songs, send them to me. Like right now, it's fine. Just send the YouTube links or whatever, and I can add those in for background music.
You're definitely gonna throw in the Mariah Carey song as a background music. I mean, that's just. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. In fact, let me get my.
Joe, would this be considered would now be considered the start of Oscar season?
I mean, no. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. You notice a lot of the movies are coming out like on Christmas or around that weekend. I'm like, damn, man, why did they wait so damn long?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think American Hustle, Wolf of Wall Street, and I think all those movies came out a little before Christmas, so maybe they came out around the same time. I don't remember.
At least we knew about them beforehand.
Yeah, but now it looks like obviously Angelina Jolie's film is going to be up for it. I'm wondering if American Sniper is going to be up for it. I don't know. I mean, it's a Clint Eastwood movie, so usually his movies get nominated for something.
Yeah.
American Sniper, that's not about like the DC guy, right? It's about like a soldier or something.
It's about a soldier, yeah, who's a sniper in the Middle East, the Afghan War, or whatever, and then he comes home, and then I guess some shit happens. I don't know. The trailer doesn't really tell you too much.
And wait, for Oscars, do they need to come out? All the movies they need to come out before like 2015.
Before December 31st, yeah.
Okay.
That's why they released it limited, like in select theaters in New York and LA.
So that it still counts.
This way, right? So it still counts, and then they go nationwide, like in January or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So Annie's going to be in the conversation.
What?
Who the hell knows?
For an Oscar?
Yeah, best musical, best kids musical.
That's not a category.
I know.
Musical.
We should have the Joes, where it's just like categories that Joe makes up.
Best kids musical. It'll be like the People's Choice, the People Magazine Awards. I don't know if you guys saw that last week, where your nemesis Johanna wore a very, very nice outfit.
Oh.
It was very nice.
There's so many more attractive women in the world.
Who, Jennifer Lopez?
She wore a very nice. Yes, Jennifer Lopez. She wore a nice outfit to the People Magazine Awards.
My name is Jennifer Lopez.
I'll never forget that green thing she wore.
Yeah, she's never gonna wear anything better than that.
No,
but
that was nice.
I mean, she always looks very nice when she goes to these award shows. She did look nice.
I think I'm gonna take a look.
The People Magazine Awards. And it was classy and nice. It wasn't too slutty looking.
Have you heard her new song with Izzy, whatever?
Booty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That song's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So she's back to dealing with liking that people like her butt. Because I know for a while she's like, my butt, nobody looks at my butt. But now that it's in style, of course, now she's like, my butt.
That butt never went out of style. It's been in style.
No,
It'll stay in style.
She was talking about how like it was bugging her or some shit.
It wasn't bugging her that much because it was insured for like $1 million or something like that.
Well, you gotta insure your property.
But now she's not the only one known for her butt now. Now you got all these other girls known for it. So she's not alone anymore.
Selena was the first.
Yeah.
I mean, Selena's butt was epic, though. Like, I mean, not in terms of size, but in terms of like.
Yeah, it was big.
Yeah,
It was a nice size. I'm just saying it was big.
It was big too, but it was not the biggest.
No, but it was big. It was nice.
It was nice.
Yeah.
The sun and the running of the tea.
Yeah, I was just listening to Bitty Bitty Bomb Bomb the other day.
The Bitty Bitty Bomb Bomb. I was listening to the Bitty Bitty Bomb Bomb.
Listen to Bitty Bitty Bomb Bomb. That's the name of the song.
Mm-hmm.
Bitty bitty bom bom.
Bitty Bitty Bomb Bomb. Bitty Bitty Bomb Bomb. Bitty 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 Bomb Bomb. Bitty 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 Bomb Bomb.
I'm sure you heard that a lot when you were growing up in Texas. Or no, you weren't growing up in Texas. You grew up in D.C.
Yeah, but she was big in Texas.
She was.
Like when she died, Tejano music died.
The date Tejano music died.
It did, man. It was huge. Like it was crazy. Because like, they have like I think it was in San Antonio. They would have the Tejano Music Awards, and it was like this huge event. It was like
Wow.
big, and then shortly after Selena died, it was like it became like this very small event, very very small. And I don't even know if they still have it. I'm sure they do, but
I'm sure they do. Or it's just thrown in with all the other award shows, like the Latin Grammys, or the Alma Awards, or the whatever else.
The Latin Grammys where Calle 13 wins like every single award because no one else is like. But the thing is, it's like who else is making music like that? Like nobody. Unfortunately, that's like the unfortunate reality of Latin music right now. Is like it's not like they're winning because like they're winning. It's because they're winning because they're probably like one of the best groups out there. So. I'm a huge fan, so.
Nobody gives your boys Romeo and Prince to go perform all the time. Those guys won a lot of awards too.
No, I'm not saying that like there aren't people who are just as good, but when it comes to the subject matter that Calle 13 talks about, like there's no one else doing that, and that's kind of sad. It's pretty sad. No, Romeo's like extremely talented. Are you kidding me? Like he's totally like a powerhouse. And I don't feel like he needs to like talk about political stuff. I just wish there were more artists in the mainstream who did talk about political stuff and were doing fusion stuff and weren't just like, I'm doing bachata now and I can't do anything else but bachata. But like Calle 13 started off as reggaeton, but now they like go around Latin America and make all sorts of different music. But I don't think everyone should be doing that. But it's sad that there isn't anyone else doing that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, real quick, Johanna, you said there was something about Annie that you wanted to point to with regards to race. Did you want to take a couple of minutes to talk about that, or?
He hasn't even seen this movie.
What I was going to do is just wherever your conversation led, I would try to insert myself.
Okay.
So, and if
That's what he said.
I started it. It's my fault. I know it's my fault. I'm the one who started it. It's okay. If I don't, then that's fine. What I might have to do, though, you guys, is jump off when you get into Sons of Anarchy, because I have to get up, like, in 7 hours.
Okay.
Are you heading up? You gonna go up early?
Yeah, I just, I don't want to deal with Although I don't know, does that mean that like, well, it's up to Ossining, so.
Yeah. Well, what time is your train?
9?
9?
Yeah.
Wait, where you headed, Johanna?
I'm going up to Ossining, to Westchester. But like, Aviva walks slow, so I usually I have to leave at 8:20, and if it's really cold, I'm gonna have to get her in all her winter crap, and
It might
then
be raining.
ugh, but I tricked her. I tricked her. I tricked her into putting on her clothes for tomorrow. Because she's like, pink pants, pink pants. I was like, okay, I'm going to give you some pink pants that, like, you can wear out. And then I was like, do you want a pink shirt? She was like, and I'm like, you want a pink shirt? And she's like,
So
pink
you
shirt.
let her sleep in her clothes.
Tonight?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and my parents used to do it to me.
Oh no, we do that. We've done that with
Yeah.
Alicia.
No, because then I don't have to deal with that. I put a little snack pack in. Shit, I shouldn't put it. Well, I'm gonna put a little snack pack in there. I'm not gonna give her anything to eat. I might give her milk or something. So, but still, I need to get up at like 7:30.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So let's get started, and then hopefully maybe you'll be able to. If you have a question about Sons of Anarchy, you can definitely ask it before you jump off.
sounds good.
All right. And we are already still recording, so I'll just start. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Agents of Helm Weekly Review Show. We're nearing the end of 2014 and the start of Oscar season, where all the movies for consideration start flooding the theaters with the quote-unquote best that Hollywood can offer. Well, this probably wasn't one of those weekends. We got the latest Peter Jackson 3.5-hour ending to the Hobbit series, which I know I'm super excited to see, but I don't know about the rest of you guys, and a remake of the... Oh, you did? Okay, great. So then maybe you could give us a quick review over that as well. And we also got a remake of the musical classic Annie. So before we jump into that, I wanted to introduce the agents on tap today. So first we have Johanna.
Hey.
And of course we have Lorenzo.
What's up, y'all?
And last but not least, we have Joe.
What's up, people?
So this time, it's Academy Award winner Jamie Foxx and Academy-nominated actress Quvenzhané Wallis recreating the title character about an overly optimistic orphan that winds up in the care of a man who's never taken the time from work to enjoy his life. So Joe and I got the opportunity to see this film over the weekend with our daughters. And so, Joe, I'll send it over to you to start the conversation about the 2014 Annie remake. What did you think about it?
Sure. First, let me just correct you in the intro there, Malik. You said orphan, and as Annie in the motion picture said, she's not an orphan, she's a foster child.
No, she's an orphan. She's an orphan. Okay.
She doesn't want to realize it.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe because the character couldn't read orphan, so she just went foster.
Anyway, like Malik said, we did take our daughters to see Annie this weekend. I wasn't expecting much given the 28% rating that it received in Rotten Tomatoes. And as an adult, I don't think I got much either. But my daughter loved it. Now she wants to watch it again, and I'm like, you want to watch that again? But yeah, she loved it. She loved the singing. I guess it was easy for her to relate to the new Annie. And plus she loves the singing and the dancing, so she really enjoyed it. As for the movie itself, I mean, I honestly never saw the original Annie, so I can't really compare it. It was never a movie that I wanted to see. But I guess at the beginning of the movie, they did pay a little homage. They paid homage to, I guess, the old version of Annie. For those of you who don't know. In this rendition of Annie, it is played by a young African-American girl as opposed to the normal, what's expected, the white with red hair girl. So when the movie starts, you see a white
girl from
girl.
Beast of Southern Wild.
Right.
Yeah.
You see it when the movie starts. You see a white girl with red hair giving a presentation in class, and she ends her presentation with a little song and dance number. And the guy's like, "Thank you, Annie. Great presentation." And then he calls up our Annie, the star of this movie, calls her up, and she's Annie B. because her name is
She's
Annie
black.
Bennett.
She's black.
Annie Black.
It's not for black.
Black. Unfortunate implications.
It's for Bennett. But anyway, she gets up and she does her own introduction. She does her own, gives a presentation to the class. That's how we start the movie. And then you go through your normal song and dance numbers. It's a Hard Knock Life. Tomorrow, all those songs that made Annie very popular back in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, is given to you again with a slight, I guess, from what I'm told, a slight difference in the story. There's no Daddy Warbucks in this film. He's replaced by Jamie Foxx,
What's
who
his
plays
name?
Mr. Stacks.
Mr. Stacks. Oh,
Mr.
okay.
Stacks, so
I
it's
get
more
it,
like
yeah.
stacks of money, right?
Right,
So he's
right.
got, he's living large in New York City. I don't even know if the original Annie took place in New York City.
I thought it.
I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
Wow.
But yeah, this story takes place in New York, and it takes you on nice helicopter rides around Manhattan because he's got it like that. But all in all, I thought the movie was rather forgettable. I don't really want to see it again. It's kind of very predictable. Jamie Foxx is going to end up with the female lead in the film, who they seem to be fighting feelings for each other, but Annie brings everyone together and shows them how much they love each other and what they could be together as a family. But yeah, it was okay. Malik, I'm sure your daughter loved it as well. Did she or did she not?
Yeah, she absolutely loved it. She had a really good time. And so just to fill in what Joe said, the female lead, I believe that's Rose Byrne.
Yes,
Um,
she was in the X-Men. She was in what was the first X-Men? Not the first X-Men. The first of the new X-Men. What was it?
First Class.
First Class. Yes,
Yeah,
she played Maura McTaggart, I think.
Yeah, yeah. And she's been in a few other. She was in Insidious as well. And she was recently on the TV show Damages. If you guys have ever seen that show, she was on that. She was a regular on that show as well. But anyway, yeah. So the movie itself. I mean, my daughter, she really liked it. She liked the singing. Like personally, going into it, and I'm kind of like you, Joe. I didn't even know you had never seen Annie. I had never seen it either. I'm not a fan of musicals, like just in general. I mean, just this the whole thing of watching a film
You guys
where
have never seen Annie before?
for me it never interested me. Like because I've told you guys before, like I didn't feel any need to see Grease or any of those musicals because I really just. It loses me the concept of we're having a discussion and then you break into song to tell me what the hell you're just getting ready to tell me. It just loses the whole concept loses me.
Those are also they're relatively dull musicals, to be honest. I'm really into musicals,
Mhm.
and I've never seen Annie, and I've only heard the songs from Grease. There are so many good musicals out there, you guys. Like, Cabaret is extremely dark, and it's about, like, Germany during World War II, and, like, there's Phantom is fucking, like, fucking crazy when you actually watch it.
Fan of the Opera?
Yes!
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
you've
a
already talked me
horrible-
out of it, Yana.
That's a horrible musical.
Have you seen it?
Yeah?
I don't know. I really like it.
I do like musicals in play form when I see them in a play. It's never really stuck to me with
Hold
regards to
on.
movies.
Malik, you read musicals? That's
No,
bullshit.
in a-
I'm calling
in a
you
play.
on that one.
No, in a
That's
play.
not true.
No, when you go see a play.
Uh-huh.
Talking about going to see a play. Like if I go to see a play that's a musical, it seems to sit better with me watching it than watching it in a movie. I don't know why.
Oh, watch it in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I hear you. Okay.
So yeah.
You
So
said
but-
you like to read. You like to read musicals on your spare time.
No, not at all. No. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it was. I guess it was good for what it was. It's a feel-good story. My daughter teared up a little bit in the scene when Annie looks like she's going to be, whisked away by her real family, and she's not going to, realize the great life that she could have with Will Stacks when he finally realizes he absolutely loves her and wants to adopt her and wants to keep her. I will say though, one thing is like I absolutely want to like adopt Quavashene Wallace. I love that little girl. Like she is just awesome. She sings, she dances, she acts, and she's great. And my daughter wants to be her, and so those. And for me, it was those that was cool, because coming out of it, like my daughter wants to do musical theater now, and she's like really into this
Aw.
stuff. And so like for me, it was I'm gonna have to buy this on Blu-ray or DVD and then own it in the house, and she's gonna be able to watch it. Um, so I like the fact that they remade it. I mean, I don't think that Annie probably was ever for me. I don't think if I even watched the one from previous years, I'll like that, much at all either. And kind of like from where Joe's standpoint, like it's not really something that I would take my time to go see again, but it's definitely something that I would buy just so she can have it. I guess seeing an Annie that she can relate to, seeing an Annie of color that she can say, hey, this iconic character is something that I can see for myself. I guess it was good. It was good for her. But other than that, I mean, the movie itself was, like I said, pretty dull, pretty formulaic. You know how it's gonna end. Like I said, I love Quvenzhané Wallis, and the only thing is, I really did. There's a song that they sing, or that she sings when she's in the Guggenheim. Joe, I don't know if you remember the scene.
Yeah.
In the Guggenheim, and that song, when she sings that song, I love that song. And that song, it's actually choked me up a little bit just listening to her sing that song, because it's really, really nice scene in the movie. That's probably my favorite scene from the entire film.
And then they followed up that scene with the "I can't read" thing
Oh
right
gosh,
after it.
yeah, it was so like stuck in there, right? It was like you just gave me this really, really heartfelt, really touching scene, and then you kind of throw this whole monkey wrench into the situation, which really doesn't really turn out to be anything. He just gets her a tutor, right? And that
Yeah,
was like,
I mean it was like no big deal, but apparently I was talking to my wife about it, and apparently in the original version she couldn't read either.
okay.
So I guess they
They
kept
figured-
that. They kept the I guess they kept the major plot storylines of the original Annie, put it in here, and just gave it a remix of sorts.
They're like,
They updated it.
Let's just throw that that piece in that she can't read, because
Yeah.
that's part of the storyline. I don't think it was necessary, honestly. I mean, other than the fact that it ties into the original storyline. That's it. But other than that, it was decent. I mean, it was decent. I wouldn't suggest that anybody run out and see it. But if you have a child, especially if you have a child of color and they've never seen Annie before, no, it'd be a nice film for them to watch. And especially if you like musicals, I mean, I guess it's something that you could see. But if you like Johanna, it's not morbid enough for you. So.
I am the goth mistress queen.
There's no death and no bees.
Exactly.
No death, no bees, no climate change. I want no part in it.
Exactly.
I tell you, one musical I do want to see, if they do make a movie version of it, is probably In the Heights, because I did enjoy the show, the musical play. So if they ever made that into a movie form, I think I would go see that.
Cool. So, as another piece. So, Lorenzo, real quick, did you want to do anything or talk a little bit about the Hobbit experience?
Well, I would guess that it was way better than Annie.
Oh yeah.
The thing about the Hobbit series is I don't really remember what the hell's going on. I mean, I get the general gist. It's like about 13 dwarves and hobbits and a wizard that are going to go to a mountain and reclaim it for the dwarves. Unfortunately, it's occupied already by a huge dragon. Somewhere down the road, and I guess in the last one, they unleashed the dragon. They woke the dragon up and pissed him off, and so he takes off. And I think that was where the last one ended. Other than that, I don't really remember a lot of like where the characters were or what was going on. So this one starts off with the dragon just torching a town, and it is awesome watching this dragon just like firebomb a whole village and just rip through it. You just see the destructive power of the dragon, and for some reason this guy's in jail. I don't remember why he's in jail, and it doesn't matter. It's like, who cares? Because he gets out of jail. He escapes. He does this awesome trick to escape out of jail. It was very clever, and it's a great start to the movie, you know. And he proceeds to take this dragon on like head on, and the way he ends up slaying the dragon is awesome. If you don't remember who this guy is, then it's probably not as impactful for you, like myself. And still, though, I watched it, and he took down Smog, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. And then there proceeds to be this huge battle over the mountain, involving, as the name implies, 5 armies. There's the elves, there's the dwarves, there's the humans, there's the goblins, and there's the orcs, and I don't know, whatever else from wherever else. Who cares? You're all just kicking each other's asses. It is like action up the wazoo. It's a lot of fun, and it's got a nice pace. It doesn't go too long for, what is it, like 2 hours and 10, 20 minutes or something. So yeah, it's a good movie. I'd recommend it if you like dragons, elves, arrows, gold, beards.
Wow, so this movie was shorter than Interstellar?
I guess so.
Wow.
So it
I
wasn't.
thought it was going to be 3 hours long.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it was like 100 and... Well, let me see. I mean, it doesn't really matter, I guess, but it wasn't super
It's just
long.
not Peter Jackson's way. Wow.
Well, one thing we knew though, if this movie was at or under 3 hours, the director's cut is going to be 4.5.
Oh yeah. And my question is, do we really need like frickin' like 16 hours of a movie based off a book that's like 100 pages long?
That's
Yes.
how I felt about it too. But if you look back on these movies, I don't know if you've seen them, but they're actually a lot of fun. It's a lot more lighter in a lot of ways, and a lot more actiony in a lot of ways than Lord of the Rings. It's not quite as epic. It's more about like until the ending, and then it gets freaking ridiculously epic. But it's more about like a small band of guys, and it's more lighthearted. They're not really, it's got a lot of good action in it. If you take a look at the whole series altogether, you'll see quite a bit of solid action sequences. So if you're into that sort of thing, these movies are definitely worth a look.
No, I definitely because I hated the first movie. I was like, I'm not watching anymore. And then Sean was like, no, he's like, just give it a chance, like just sit down and watch it. And I really liked Smog a lot. I really did. And that's
played by the guy with the weird British name.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah. Benedict Cumberbatch.
I meant the whole movie. I'm just calling it Smog. But the dragon was fine. And I guess like these movies have become their own animal in a way, like beyond.
Yeah, and actually, most importantly, this movie was this whole series was a huge influence for the game show. So.
Really?
Well, absolutely. There's a dragon in a mountain, and
I was thinking that, in fact.
Yeah, and there was riddles.
Aw.
Yep.
So, yeah, well, okay, enough about that. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. What do you say,
Yeah.
Nate?
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing that I have been wanting to talk about for a very, very long time on this show that I've never gotten a chance to talk to any of the agents about is a show that was very near and dear to my heart for a long time. It was 7 seasons running, and it's just finally ended. And a lot of you out there probably already know fully about it. And what I'm talking about is Sons of Anarchy. So once again, this show has been on, like I said, it's been on for 7 years. It's written by a gentleman by the name of Kurt Sutter, who is actually married to one of the lead characters one of the lead actresses on the show, Katie Sagal, who some of you may know from Married with Children fame. And it's basically telling the story of a it's telling the story of a fictional motorcycle gang in a fictional town of California. That's where they reside. They obviously have chapters all over the state of California and up and down the southwestern United States. Of the western United States, going as far up as Oregon, and I'm not sure how far down they go, but they definitely have a large amount of experience or a large amount of reach up and down the West Coast.
And Ireland.
Oh yes, and of course their main hub, or their origins go back to Ireland. And this, like I said, I've said this before. The show is a lot about the relationships between the characters, relationships between families, sons, daughters, fathers, and pretty much like it spends a lot of its time building those relationships. And this season was spending a lot of time destroying the relationships that it had built over the courses of six full long seasons. So Lorenzo recently got a chance to really catch up to everything. So kind of wanted to get some just to have an opportunity to talk to you about, like, how you feel about the show, where you are with it, where you've been with it, and then just do a quick recap of Sons of Anarchy, and maybe get Joe and Johanna to start watching. Damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Johanna, if you wanna check out now, feel free. She mentioned Johanna
Hey,
mentioned that
fix
she might
your
not stick around
pose.
for the whole episode.
Why are you caught out there, sir? Caught out there. I was intending to stay on a bit longer.
Okay, well, just say goodbye whenever you want.
You're such a jerk.
All right, so right, Malik had talked about how great the show was. This was sometime after Walking Dead ended. Went into hiatus, and is that what it's called? Hiatus,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, so this is right after that. I'm looking for something to replace The Walking Dead, to replace Boardwalk Empire, to replace all those shows. I know that Malik has good taste because he's a huge fan of The Wire, which is one of the best series that was ever on TV. And so I thought I'd give Sons of Anarchy a try. I watched, and pretty quickly I got sucked into the melodrama of it all. It's it's a show that you can't. Especially at first, it's hard to take it too seriously. Like every show, it has like a chase scene in it where they put on silly music, and it's got a brawl sometimes for absolutely no purpose whatsoever. And it's got the Jax, who all the girls go on about how sexy he is, and I'm a little sick of it. He's a British dude, by the way. I found out.
He was going to be Christian Grey.
And and so this series basically starts with him finding a manuscript that his belated passed away, dead, well, spoiler alert. Oh, Malik, I don't know if you mentioned it, but we're going to be spoiling the whole damn show. So if you have not seen it, or if you haven't seen it but you are interested in watching it, to be honest, maybe you shouldn't be listening right now, because yes, his dad wrote this manuscript. It was a warning. It was a cautionary tale. It was basically him pouring his heart out, his soul out on the page, and also it basically was like a Jerry Maguire type thing, where he's just like, we should do things differently, and this meant getting out of guns, because they are gun runners, gun dealers, gun salesmen. I don't know, they do guns, and he wanted to get out of all that and take the gang back to its roots. And just kind of get out of the crime and the violence, because he foresaw that it would tear the club apart. And Jax reads this, and it changes his thinking about what he's doing with his life as a member of the same gang. So it's very much a family gang. Like there's the family that he's in, that he's stuck with, and there's the family that he chooses, and they're very closely tied together. It turns out, Jax Jax's father is dead, again, murdered. Peggy Bundy did have something to do with his father's death, as did his new dad, who was besties with his dead dad. So his new dad is Ron Perlman, and and so Ronnie is like he's a really great character. You love him, you hate him, and you watch him just kind of go from being this. I mean, he was a guy you looked up to, you respected, and but you knew he was shady, and he just gets more and more and more shady, and you watch his character decline over time, and you watch Jax kind of move up into a place of power, and he was the vice president at the beginning. Eventually, what's his name? Malik, the Ron Perlman's character,
Clay.
Morrow, Clay Morrow, right? Yeah, and so you see Clay's fall, and he takes quite a few people out with him, and he tries to take out even more. So Jack's best friend eventually falls prey to Clay, as does his dad, as does a few other people. And he also takes a few shots at Tara, Jax's wife, until Jax finally shuts him down, frames him for a murder, and then breaks him out of prison only to kill him. And I don't know if that was the end of last season, but I was like, whoa, when that happened, because yeah, I mean, that's some serious shit. Ron Perlman, he's like one of the major characters, and for him to just be killed off, that was when I realized the show was like serious or for real. And because throughout it you're watching and you're waiting for like something to happen. You see things are happening. Jax is basically trying to take the gang out of guns. He's doing a pretty good job of it. He's also trying to get out of the gang himself and go live with his wife and their 2 kids. One is Tara's daughter and one belongs to his previous wife, who was a heroin junkie, who his mother tried to kill. I think everybody has tried to kill everybody on the show at least once.
At least one time.
At least one time. And it's so funny because they go from like wanting to kill each other to like, I love you. Oh, I love you too. And then killing each other again because I don't know if it was maybe I'm getting my seasons confused. Maybe the second to last season is when Ron Perlman died, and then last season, yeah, it was last season, Tara gets killed by Peggy Bundy, Gemma, and yeah, and that was another murder that just blew my mind because Tara was like a major fixture in the show. You see her decline too as a character. It's really interesting watching these characters change. While it's not like the most realistic type stuff that goes on, it's still engrossing, a lot of fun to watch. And so you see Tara killed brutally by Gemma. She shoves her face into a sink and then stabs her in the back of the head with a fork several times. And Gemma ends up escaping thanks to help from Juice, who is half black. And because of his half-black heritage, he totally goes off the deep end, betrays the club. Yeah, because there's some bylaw that says that black people cannot be part of the club. Some ancient bylaw that seems a little archaic. Yeah, and so his character just takes this huge plummet.
Absolutely.
And he helps Gemma. He shoots the cop that's there, that would have busted Gemma for killing Tara if he himself hadn't been killed by Juice, who shoots him in the back. Then Juice proceeds to help Gemma cover up the murder, blaming it on the Asian gang. What do they call the Asians? They call the blacks, and they call the browns, the browns.
Yellow. The
yellow.
Yeah, they pretty much do them by color. So the Asians are yellow, the
blacks are black,
Hispanics are brown, and the blacks are blacks. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much tied into race, and so you see Gemma finger a yellow. Sounds gross, and so this guy ends up being killed by Jax. Brutally killed by Jax. He spends like a night torturing him while his buddies just kind of watch, and and then he kills him, which triggers a huge war because the blacks are with the yellows, and then the whites and the browns, and then there's more blacks, and it starts this huge epic battle and struggle, and everything basically goes to shit. Only after all that does he find out from his own son, whose son is the one that figured it, put two and two together, and unravels the whole why that original murder happened, which takes all of the, I guess, righteousness out of all the damage that he's done, Jax, I mean, to their organization as well as a bunch of other places, because there's dead bodies everywhere. They killed off characters like, for example, Bobby. Bobby got killed. I can believe that when that happened. I mean, I could kind of believe it. When they took his eye out, I was like, okay, that's not so bad. You took his eye out, he could still survive, you know, because like with the exception of Reek from Game of Thrones, when a character is seriously injured, eventually they die, right? Like they get to a point when there's like so much damage done to them, you know that character is going to die.
Right,
and so
right.
when they took Bobby's eye, it was like, oh, he could still ride around with a patch on his eye. But then when they cut off his hand, you know, and that meant he couldn't ride anymore, I was like, ugh, Bobby's going to get it. And sure enough, Bobby dies, along with a bunch of other people. And so by the end, Jax confronts Gemma, having to kill Unser, who's like another long-standing character, to get to Gemma, and and he ends up shooting her in the head. Juice, who's been in prison this whole time, getting ass raped by the yellows and the whites, he is also eventually killed. I think he finds some sort of redemption in that. He at least gets to finish his pie before he's brutally murdered by Marilyn Manson, of course.
Yes,
and and so then now Jax is on trial for murder, not by the law, but by his fellow gangs, because he has killed another Sons of Anarchy gang member. Well, that's not the only one, but this is the one he actually got busted for. He killed I guess he had never really killed another son before, maybe, except for his dad, Clay, but I think that got voted, so he was okay there, because you can vote to kill people, but if you don't kill people by vote, then it's you're killing another gang member, and then you get to meet Mr. Mayhem, which means that the gang takes you out. And so now he's at the point where he's going to be tried by his fellow gang members for the murder of another gang member from another president of another chapter who he killed. Again, it's all tied back to Terra eventually, I think. Because this was a whole plan for his revenge. Within that plan, he had to kill somebody. That somebody happened to be that guy's son, which he didn't know, and then he finds out that his son, so then he's sure that this guy betrayed him, but it turned out it wasn't that guy that betrayed him, and so he ended up killing him for no reason. So now he's going to have to face up to that, not to mention the fact that he's left his mother and retired cops' bodies at his grandfather's house lying in the garden. And so, Malik, I have not finished watching the final episode of this ridiculous show. What the hell happens?
So a lot of what happens in the final episode is mostly the Jax character realizing what he's done and realizing that there is no turning back for him. Right? He's gone about as far as you can possibly go, and he's pretty much done almost irreparable damage to the motorcycle club that he has been a member of and is the president of, and has pretty much done the absolute worst thing that he could have possibly done to them, which is basically destroy their credibility, destroy their relationships, and all in the name of revenge, right? And these guys that have been with him from the very beginning were with him throughout this entire situation. Were with him through everything that he did, as far as all the murders that he orchestrated, and all the deaths that have piled up as a result of the lie from his mother. These guys were with him all the way through because he was their president, and they loved him. So the new episode, the last episode ends. Basically starts out with Jax kind of tying up loose ends.
The Irish being, I guess, a big one.
Right. Well, so the first thing is that he orchestrates a situation to get his sons out of town, and so he orchestrates with
Jimmy Smits. I love that character.
Right, with Jimmy Smits, who started out as a as a part-time character, and then people loved him and he became a really, really important, really big character in the show. That was a really interesting, had a really interesting dynamic as part of the normal cast. But he orchestrates with Jimmy Smits and with the mother of his first son to take his kids away from this town, away from this city. He sells all his interests in all of the different business ventures that he has a hand in. He has hands in some of the porn industry. He has hands in some other legitimate industries, legitimate businesses across the town. And so he liquidates all of that and gives that leaves that all to his son and to the mother of his first child. And then he systematically goes about the task of making sure that all the loose ends are tied. So there's a situation with the Irish where, obviously, in trying to step away from the gun trade and trying to make things more legitimate for for his club, you have to offset that by moving. The guns don't just stop getting sold. Somebody has to be the one to sell them. So he decides to offset that gun trade to one of the other groups. Well, the problem with that is that the Irish are very, very racist, and they do not like to work with anyone other than themselves. And they were very, very lenient with Jax earlier by allowing him to kind of orchestrate the sale of their guns through a third party who was run by a black male. But the person that was in question had a large network of money and interests in a bunch of different legitimate businesses that he could boast that he could manage the type of work or the type of stuff that the Irish were bringing in. And so now he was going to, Jax was going to shit on that entire thing and try to change it back to a situation where they would be dealing with the Latin gangs, the Mexican gangs, and of course now the Irish have a big problem with that. So he's got to, fix things up with that. The Irish send him on a job to kill a member of their organization that has been kind of operating and managing his own business interests, unbeknownst to them. And he goes out to go find this gentleman and find this person. And when he finally does find him, he brings the Irish person that sent him on the job to the area where they can I guess he can show that Irish guy that he's going to kill this guy. Well, in turn he goes and kills the Irish guy and kills all of the Irish guy's people. And this Irish guy is like a king of the Irish mob, of the IRA. And when word gets back to the Irish, obviously they know, he knows that there's nothing that he can do. That's pretty much it. And he's severing that this is pretty much the severing of ties between the motorcycle club and the Irish mafia. And so from that point on, you realize that, if you had any thoughts that the Jax character was going to make it and was going to survive, the prevailing thought is that this episode is the end of him. It's the end of everything.
I mean, once he kills his mom, it's like,
yeah. he's done. I mean, it's the end of him. It's the end of everything that he's done. It's the end of everything that he's accomplished. But he's trying to he's going to do whatever he possibly can to make it right. So, the episode ends where he goes on basically a killing spree. He kills um, the, the 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 guy that was played by RoboCop. The guy that RoboCop played. He kills him. Borowski. There you go. He kills Borowski in his ice cream shop.
Oh wow, that
Um,
is who he is. That's
yeah,
great. I didn't put.
RoboCop. Yeah, yeah. Peter Weller. He kills
Yeah.
Peter Weller in the ice cream shop by just walking in and shooting that guy in the head. Apparently, that guy turned on him and basically made the situation between him and the Chinese worse than it needed to be. And tipped them off so that it started part of that war was started because this guy just got greedy and took the money from the Asians and gave
Yeah, and that was also what led to the death of the other president of
them.
the other chapter.
Exactly. So in order to right that wrong, he went back and killed that guy. He also went and killed the black businessman who was responsible for the death of Bobby. That was August Marks. He goes and gets the drop on that guy and kills that guy coming out of court. Um, After he had put him in jail in the first place, and then set that whole scene up. So coming out of court, he's sitting on the park step. He's sitting on the courtroom steps as looking like a homeless person, and he gets the drop on them and shoots the guy security guard, and then kills that guy. And all this is happening in broad daylight. you
Of
know,
course.
it's everybody like nobody. There's no police around, but it's a courthouse. I don't get that, but anyway, there's no police around. But all this is happening, just like like he is not gonna go to jail from this. And so the way that the episode ends, it's very fitting that it ends kind of in the same way that it started. So if you watched the very first episode of the very first season, it starts with a scene of two crows on the ground. I guess eating something that's fallen onto the ground or whatever. And then the way the
And they
show
get run
ends,
over.
well, there's actually, yeah, one of them gets run over by a bike that comes across. Well, this episode ends with two crows on the ground eating, but it ends with the death of Jax, and Jax gets to go out on his own terms, and as his own man, he shoots at the police, and he's fired some warning shots. And that by now he's been the APB is out on him, and everybody's looking for him in the state of California. He's shored up all of his interests, and he convinced his chapter to vote on the mayhem vote, to vote yes on the mayhem vote, so that they voted to have him killed, because he knew that if they had obviously if they had not voted to have him killed, that the other chapters would look them as being either weak or against their interests, because obviously now all the other chapters want him dead after he's killed this president for no reason. So he had his group vote him down as the mayhem vote for him to die. And in most instances, your chapter is supposed to be the one that kills you. And because these guys loved him and they absolutely were with him 100% all the way through, they couldn't bring themselves to kill him, and he didn't want to put that burden on them. So he sets it up so that makes it look like he shot at them and shot his way out of the situation, and jumps on his father's bike, who he had one of the guys at the garage that they own fix, and get it back to working order. He gives up his bike that he's been using the entire show, and starts riding his father's bike, as to pay homage to the father. And he takes a shot at the police. The police start chasing him, and he goes up to an area where a lot of the people that have died as part of this motorcycle group have their names inscribed in the wall. He goes up there. He has a conversation with his father.
That's where his dad died.
Right, it's exactly where his dad died, and there's a helmet there for his dad, for the death of his father. And so he goes up there. He has a conversation with his dad. He starts to drive away after he's getting pursued by the cops. There's this big, everything's happening. Like the cops are chasing him. He's driving through, and just like how his father died, there's a semi truck coming around the corner, funny enough, driven by the same person who gave his mother a ride
Oh, of
her
course.
father's to her father's.
Tomatoes.
Yes. So this the same guy is driving the truck, and he's actually played by Michael Chiklis, who a lot of you guys know from The
The
Shield,
Shield. I
which
didn't
is
recognize him.
yeah,
It's
he was
another like show by the same producers, I
yeah,
guess.
same producers on the same network and everything. It was kind of like it was a really interesting. I knew once I saw him about 2 episodes prior, or even an episode prior, that he was going to factor into the show in some manner because you could have cast anybody to be the truck driver, but the casting of him just kind of made sense. So yeah, so the truck driver comes around the corner, and Jax looks at the truck, he sees it, and he takes this opportunity to run head on into the truck. And that's how he dies, and that's how he kills himself, which is, like I said, exactly the way that his father died, or that we know his father to have died in previous in previous discussions about the father's character. We never actually
Right.
meet the father, we never see the father, but we know that that's how the father died.
Yeah, and I guess there was also talk that he also committed suicide,
Yeah,
possibly,
right.
even though it seemed for certain that he was set up. I guess it looks like he chose to take himself out. At least that was what one character said.
Right.
The guy that Jax killed, the other charter boss,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Jury. So
Jury.
I mean, yeah. So this is
His
like
name's Jerry, right?
it sounded
I
like they
think.
called him Jury. Like,
Well, I think it's the British accent. I think every once in a while, like there's some words that Jax cannot pronounce, and I think one of them is Jerry.
yeah, it seems like there's moments. There's always been moments during the show, throughout the course of the show, like when he gets animated, like when he starts screaming or he starts really getting up there, like his accent starts really coming out. And Charlie Hunnam is I think he's a quality actor, and I think that this season he showed a lot of range, and a lot of emotion in showing how that character has gone through the shit. He's
Yeah,
gone
I
through
mean,
shit. Right?
yeah, it's really interesting because there, that character changes so much from the
Yeah.
beginning. He seems like kind of like a California surfer slash biker guy with nary a care in the world, and he becomes something way worse than Clay Morrow ever was.
Yep. Yep. And I think that so the one thing about this show that I've always said is that the show is about a lot is about the things that we do, but it's a lot of it's about the motives. A lot of these people have their motives are just all screwed up, and their thought process or their logic for thinking things through or for making a decision, um, even for going back to the very first season or the very first few episodes of the show, the very first decisions to decide to kill one character, um, and then you didn't call off the murder in time, so someone else gets killed because of that, and that just sets off a
Opie,
whole
yeah.
right. That just sets off a whole slew of things that happens. It takes like 3 or 4 seasons to get to the resolution of that, And so it's one of those things where it's the motives, it's the things that you think through, or the decisions you make based off of your motives, like keeping the gang together, or because you
Right.
love your guys, and these are the things that you do, or Gemma, because she loves her son so much, she's going to do whatever she possibly can to keep him out of jail, even if it means killing his wife. And so all of these things that these people choose to do, it was like if you just took the time to sit down and talk about some of this shit first. And that's the thing, they spend a whole lot of time on this show just talking about shit that they're going to do, but they don't but they always seem to be able to make that one bad decision, that one bad choice that really turns into a huge catastrophe. Um, but I do like how it ended. I do like how the show finally wrapped itself up, and it gave you an opportunity to watch these characters, kind of, ride off into the sunset as you were. But it also shows you, and it shows anybody that's watching the show and like glorifying any of the stuff that they see on the show, that bad guys don't win.
Oh
Right.
my God! Like there's just so much brutality, and this is one of the most brutal shows. Just in terms of like blood, it's on par with The Walking Dead. I mean, yeah, it seriously is. As far as like characters dying and not knowing, I mean, you kind of, it's it's hardly ever out of the blue that a character dies, um, but still, I mean, Opie, Bobby, um, Clay, Tara, eventually, Gamma and what's his face, the cop. Oh my God, do you remember the other guy, the sheriff, the guy that was going to replace him?
Yeah,
He,
Rock.
he
Yep. Hmm.
he just got hit by a car
Yeah.
like at the funeral. He just
Oh yes,
suddenly
that's
got
right.
hit by a car and he was dead.
Yep.
And yeah, not to mention the other special investigator guy whose sister got killed, and
Hmm.
yeah, and then that guy that killed the sister, he died, and nearly all of them just have like horrendously bloody deaths.
Yep. Yep.
Uh, yeah, what happened to Juice at the end? I mean, he just like the whole last season, he's basically just getting, you know, raped and then stabbed in the neck at the end.
Yep.
And yeah, and these are characters that, they're not like minor characters. These are like really big characters.
Yeah.
I mean, Clay. I guess Clay was the that was like the moment like that there was no going back, right? Like I think that was what sealed Jax's fate. I kind of feel like when he killed his father. I mean, because
Mhm.
basically Clay was his dad, and so when he at that point, I think that was sort of the moment when there was just no going back. It might have happened before that. I don't know. What do you think? And also, who was your favorite character?
So I'll answer the first question first. I think that there's a few moments where he kind of reaches that point of no return, and I think that honestly for me there's always been that situation where his wife showed him a path that he
Out.
a path out, had always showed him a path out, and everything that he had done, everything that the character was doing, really over the course of the majority of the show, as long as the wife was there, was all done in an effort to, I guess, set the club up in the right path, but then also allow him to leave. And every time he tried to leave, every time he tried to walk away, every time, it looked like a situation was working out in his favor, it would pull him back in. And he would just tell his wife, all right, just give me a little bit more time. I have to do this, this, and that, and I'll be fine, and we'll be okay, and we'll be able to leave. And that just kept happening over and over. So my personal feeling is that, the redemption for the character, may have left when he allowed Clay, his father, to get killed. But I think that the death of Clay was coming at some point in time anyway, because Clay had, similar to Jack's character, Clay had done so much to
Yeah.
gain his death credit that
Yeah.
it was just a matter of time before somebody caught up to him. And the fact that it was them, it just kind of made the situation fitting. I personally think that when his wife dies, that's the that's the point of no return for the character.
That's just when he just like
That's
goes
it. That's it,
dark.
because that's his he can always lean on her to be that light, and that shining light that he can reach out for, that he can reach out to. And without her, he's got nothing. And he realizes that, and I think he realizes that even before she dies. He knows who she is. He knows what she symbolizes for him, and losing her is just absolutely the worst. I think that for me, my favorite character, um, it has changed over time. So at the very beginning, it was Bobby. I love Bobby, and I still do. I still did love the Bobby character. I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
he's one of my favorite guys on the show. Period. Um,
Yeah.
I was a huge fan of Opie, during his run on the show, just because of his loyalty, and because of his just undying love for the club, and
Yeah.
everything that
He
they
was a
had.
badass. He was
Yeah,
definitely a badass.
he was great. Um, and I think throughout, I think throughout, Jax has always been a character that I've appreciated, kind of the way he goes about things, although I don't necessarily agree with his motives, and I don't necessarily agree with what he does. I think that he calculates a lot of his stuff, and he thought through a lot of his stuff, in a manner that allowed him um, to make these decisions and not really hate himself for everything. because he knew the reasons why he was doing it up until this season. So there's been like two or three characters that I really really have enjoyed throughout the run of the show. Actually, my favorite. Actually, I would like to say my favorite character is probably Otto. Like I loved Otto. Like I thought Otto was just great because he was. And Otto was the. If you don't remember, Otto
He was like
the,
from hell. Yeah, he was
yeah.
like in hell.
He was
And
literally. He had literally accepted his fate. He knew who
yeah,
he was, and he was not questioning that. He knew exactly what he was. He was loyal to the. He was loyal to the gang for whatever it was, and he knew, this is who I am. He was. I think in the very beginning, he was like weeks away from being paroled, and he killed somebody for the club, so that he has to stay in the club. He has to stay in jail forever, right?
oh man, but
Yeah,
yeah, I didn't realize he was so close to being paroled.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
because
he's
then
getting
he
ready to
goes
get out.
he goes to like death row from there,
Yeah, exactly.
and
Exactly.
then even I mean to the very end, he takes that guy out. Who is that dude? The guy that was the brother of the nurse. I forgot his name, but what a character that dude was.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and and I love the part when Clay is just like, one more, brother, one more time, brother.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, but it's a great show. I mean, look, I know we've spoiled a bunch of it for you, Joe, and giving you giving you a whole lot of stuff that happens
I
in the
don't,
show.
Joe
But
might not
I
even
would
be
still
listening
say
I'm
anymore.
listening.
I would
Yeah, I
Okay.
can't keep track of all. I don't know any of the characters, so I can't
Yeah.
keep track of all the stuff that you're saying.
Yeah.
I would still say in your leisure time, it's on Netflix. All the first 6 seasons are on Netflix. Give it an opportunity. Sit down and watch
Yeah,
season
definitely.
because
It's a lot of fun.
it's a really great show. It's
And
really well done.
it
I
does
mean,
things that you just don't even you wouldn't even see, like characters being like what goes on in prison, right? Like I mean, Otto was also one of the ones that like had to like suffer the sexual trauma of like prison rape and what happens to Juice. And then you just don't normally see that with like characters, like main characters that you're still supposed to like have respect for and everything. Um, and Tig or Tig?
Tig. Hmm.
Yeah, Tig ends up being with a transsexual, and like that's crazy. You just
Hmm.
don't normally see that stuff. So yeah, I mean, I thought the show like took things in directions that I just have not really seen all that much of before. And so yeah, Tig was definitely one of my favorite characters, as well as Chibs. Chibs
Yeah.
was always great, and then of course Happy, who
Oh yeah, yeah. Everybody loves Happy.
everybody loves Happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. Wearing you remember his like the first kill you really see is him in the ice cream outfit
Hmm.
when he takes out Alvarez's son, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was some crazy shit.
And he gets a new tattoo.
Little happy face.
Yeah, that's why they call him Happy. Um, but yeah, I definitely we've given you a lot of like I said, Joe or whoever else hasn't seen the show, like we've given you guys a lot of the meat of the show. There's still so much that happens on that show that we haven't even talked about. There's so many
Definitely.
characters, so many cameo appearances, so many
Yeah,
intros. I mean,
the girl from Glee did like that was another character. It's like, whoa, that's the girl from Glee.
yeah.
Remember, she was in the diner, the waitress in the diner.
That's right. Yes, yes. Oh, that's why she looks so familiar to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And another question a question I have for you is did they ever wrap up the homeless lady that you see? Like, what was up with that character?
I don't know. Yeah, they never really. 'Cause she says something very interesting to him, or he says something to her, and then she says to him like it's time, and she gives him the rags or whatever for him to carry out the murder of Marks. They don't really touch on her as far as like where she came from. So she's a character that I actually have to go back and like look at some of the older episodes.
Yeah, I mean, you see her like she was there when he spent the night at Opie's. I don't know, I think it was Opie's tombstone. Like
Hmm.
she like gives him her blanket and
Yeah,
like yeah, she's always been there. She's always been around.
yeah,
Similar to the way they do that with characters in The Wire, where you'll see like this one, like I think this one girl goes from being like she buys drugs, like, it's like this white girl who like buys some drugs, and then you just see her like every now and then until like she's finally like on the streets, like strung out,
Right.
like 5 or 6 seasons later.
Yeah, I think this is just one of those shows where it got really popular, and the network gave the writer, the creator, an opportunity to really take the show in whatever direction he wanted to. And similar to The Wire, he was able to end it on his own terms. He was able to, really, do whatever he wanted to do, and it was because it was one of the most highly rated shows on the network that they gave him those opportunities, and they gave him those freedoms with all of the rights of his characters. There's so many times that the shows are forced to keep characters on or kill characters off because of people not liking. Well, this was one of those shows where they didn't have to do that. And The Walking Dead is actually known for being one of those shows where some characters die off a lot quicker or stay on a lot longer than they probably should have, because of the fact that fan appreciation and fan love of that character just drives the story and keeps it going, when the writers may have had completely different ideas about the situation, and they have to like rewrite the script. Well, this one is one of those ones where he told them he was ending it at season 7. They wanted him to go further, but he told them he didn't have anything else, and he was ending it right there. So just that opportunity to do that means that the person that's telling the story actually gets to begin it and end it on their own terms. And I think that's a great way, when you have shows like this, to just allow them to kind of finish their run and to finish their story. And it really, really, completes the saga. So I can't wait.
I mean, it definitely like made it told a complete story, with the exception of maybe like the time in Ireland and looking for when his son gets kidnapped. Like that whole kind of that was sort of it was a tangent, a bit of a tangent that went away from that whole main storyline of him trying to get out and then getting sucked back in. But yeah, it basically goes full circle, like you were saying, and it's almost like everything was inevitable in some ways, even though like some of those plot twists are crazy. In a lot of ways, it felt like everything pretty much had to happen.
Absolutely, yeah. Great show, love it.
Mm-hmm.
I suggest that Joe go watch it. Do us a favor and go watch it, and then tell me what you think. But yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. See if I can do it. I already know the beginning and I know the end. I know Jack starts it and he dies in the end.
Yeah, but it is a lot of fun. I think what Malik is getting at is that it's a lot of fun to watch his transformation, as well as the transformation of a lot of the other characters that you care so much about.
Yeah.
By the end.
And watch it with your wife. I mean, I'm sure your wife won't know a lot of the stuff that's going on, so.
But she will be a fan of Jax, I'm sure.
Oh, most likely. Most women are.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Well, that's all we have for you this week. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back very soon. We'll be releasing our Christmas special episode very soon, as well as the crossover episode, which should be coming out very soon as well. So for Johanna, who is no longer here, but we hopefully will. She had to run. But for Johanna, for Joe, and for Lorenzo, I am Malik. We are the Agents of Helm. Have a great night and enjoy your holiday season. See you later. Peace out.
Peace.